Your mind is warm when I taste you. You are reborn. I can't sleep when I close my eyes, and we're in too deep, and it's all a lie. She can't let it go, and I can't let it show. She let me out into the cold. I know my life is gone. Hell no, she's dead and gone. But she's my enemy reborn. I left you there to cry and cry, and I left you just to die. Nightmares, never a dream to me. Countless endeavors is what you seek. She can't let it go, and I can't let it show. She let me out into the cold. I know my life is gone. Hell no, she's dead and gone. But she's my enemy reborn. She's my enemy. She's my enemy. You're my enemy. She's my enemy. She can't let it go, and I can't let it show. She let me out into the cold. You know that my life is gone. Hell no, she's dead and gone. But she's my enemy reborn. She can't let it go, and I can't let it show. She let me out into the cold. You know that my life is gone. Hell no, she's dead and gone. But she's my enemy reborn. She's my enemy. You're my enemy. She's my enemy reborn.
Oh, that's fun. I like doing that. Let me find JL on here. Hang on one second. Hey, JL, I'm going to turn your volume on. There we go. Now people should be able to hear you just fine.
Awesome. Fantastic. You know, I actually heard like the intro music
Yeah.
when you were doing it, and I felt like I was about to come on and be like,
Good
and JL
evening.
with sports.
Yeah.
Or it'd be like, I'd be like this, football with
Yeah,
sports.
with sports and JL Warren. Yeah. All right. Hey, everybody. I normally don't do Wednesday live streams outside of the Weekend Horror, but an opportunity presented itself, and I had to take it. So here we are. And I brought JL on for this one specifically because of the topic that we're talking about, and I know he's either watching right now or he will see this later, and I hope he does, because Darth Dawkins made a few accusations and whatnot, and I want to make sure I don't want him to be a liar, so I'm going to help him out by making it so he's not a liar. That being said, I've had a few people ask about setting up a debate with Darth Dawkins, so I've reached out to him over Discord saying, hey, got the plot hole up. Let's do this thing. Got a couple of people that would like to debate you. So nothing happened. He didn't say anything. I figured he was just going to ignore it. No big deal. No harm, no foul. Don't care. Well, Bark, bark, says the pup.
Oh, did you hear my dog in the background?
Yeah, of course. Nothing wrong
Oh,
with
sorry
that.
about that.
No, nothing wrong. It's okay. Puppies want a puppy. Puppies want a puppy. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, here is today rolls around and he sends back a message inviting the atheists that I have to the Reformation Discord server. And I politely declined. Said, these people would appreciate more of a moderated forum. You know what? Let me pull up exactly what I said. Simply because I want to, I don't want to fuck this up too bad. What did I say? Let's see here. They would be more comfortable on a neutral / moderated. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, hang on a second. I fucked that up too. They would be more comfortable on a neutral / moderated channel.
Why you do it like the pigeon? Moderated. It's like he sounds like one of the twins from The Shining.
Oh yeah,
Danny,
come play with us. We did that really well. So yeah, he sends me. I said, he says, "Too bad. There's a link. I guess too bad he doesn't want to." He knows that his Reformation is just an echo chamber for him to scream and yell and kick and ban and do. He has ultimate control, and he doesn't want to relinquish that because he can't have a proper interaction. He doesn't know how to do it again. He just doesn't know how to have a debate or a civil discourse with anybody.
This is true. It's absolutely true.
Right. And go ahead.
He's got to have the power. He's got to have the power in every conversation.
Exactly. Which is, we'll get into that here in a minute too. And then he said, I asked him, are you afraid of a moderated channel? And he asked me if I had a YouTube channel called The Plot Hole. Now, mind you, I am on Discord as The Plot Hole. So most monkeys can put 2 and 2 together.
Duh.
I mean,
wow, did you come up with that all by yourself, Sherlock? Holy shit.
The deduction powers on this guy.
I'm the world's greatest detective.
Bad man's so funny. Harvey, Two-Face was just right here. Oh man,
Harvey, they got your back.
Yeah. And I said, yes, I do, of course. And he says, did you call me a moron on your show? Now, I don't recall calling him a moron. I don't think I did. I don't think I actually called him a moron.
I don't recall you saying like deliberately insulting him.
Yeah.
I know I did.
Right.
I insulted him a bunch, but I don't remember you doing it. You're generally pretty fair on yours.
Yeah, I try to be as even keeled and balanced, especially when whatever. But then he says you basically did with your interview with slanderer J.L. Warren. He made slanderous and false accusations about me on your interview. In that same show, you basically called me a moron. Well, here's the thing. I didn't call you a moron. What you did there is you inferred that we were calling you a moron. JL called you a moron, right? JL did.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, right? I'm not
And
JL
worse.
and worse, right? I'm not JL Warren there, Captain Cranium, okay?
He's the fucking leader over here, man. Watch out, Hulk.
So here you go. You're a moron. Now you can tell everybody I called you a moron because I have now officially called you a moron. I generally don't like to do that. I don't like to be, yeah, I do. What am I talking about? Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
No, you got to take a second. You got to be like, that Darth Dawkins dude.
Yeah, what about him?
Fuck that dude.
Yeah. So, but he he asks if I want him to find the exact quote. And of course, I said, "Well, fine, sure. If that makes you feel better, go right ahead, because I don't really care." You talk about how you're 60 years old or going to be 60 years old, and I'm pretty sure in your 60 years of life, somebody's called you a bad name once or twice in it. And I'm 40, and people have called me bad names. Okay, yay.
I got called a slanderer today.
You got called you slanderer, you.
Golly gee willikers.
Golly gee willikers. I mean, I have to say that for such a tough guy, he puts on this tough guy act.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the toughest of the tough, right? But you can't handle somebody calling you a moron? Come on, man. Get it together. What's wrong? So what? So what? Somebody called you a moron. Is your ego that fragile? Lordy. If you get this bent out of shape for someone insinuating or possibly or could have called you a moron, what happens when people call you a stupid dumb fuck?
And I want to, thank you, Caliban. It's not slander if it is true. This was actually a big fucking thing that went down. Okay, so most likely, because Darth, when he encountered like an individual like me, when he and I went, we're I guess kind of going at it because he had people looking for me for a while, so he had some of his minions like looking. So whenever JL Warren gets on, let me know. Right. So he had people like waiting for me to jump on. I would pop in. I'd be in a particular server, just like listening to the conversation, and then he would come in and ambush me and be like, "Hey, you said this shit about me." Now, the reason he calls me a slanderer, the reason most likely in my little Discord note where you put notes about the people that you talk to, he probably has slanderer. He either has slanderer or he has scumbag written in there, whatever, because he's called me scumbag a bunch of times as well. The reason he has it in there is because when I was doing when I was looking into Darth to do the little kind of breakdown video that I did, right, I wanted to make sure of one thing: I did not dox him. I did not put his personal details out there when, right, I absolutely could have.
And he's done it before. He's done it to himself.
And I'm not going to. Okay, I'm not going to do it. 2, there are people that I spoke to that know him personally, and those individuals do not know Darth well enough that they know that he will make their lives miserable if he knew that they spoke directly with me. Okay, now, no, Darth, if you do happen to be listening, I'm not a licensed journalist. I don't work for the fucking Post. Okay, I don't work for the Times. I don't work for any periodical. But
he does work for the Plot Hole.
This is I have done work for the Plot Hole. Yes.
If I could drop this mic, I probably wouldn't because it's expensive. But consider that a mic drop. You fucking piece of shit.
But when you do research now, okay, that aside, I have been a journalist. Mm-hmm. Okay, I have done research work. I have done research. I've printed up I have done editorials. I have done opinion pieces, and I have done interviews with individuals regarding specific stories. I have done this stuff. Now, there is a thing called journalistic integrity. Yes. Okay. If people go on record with you, and you can validate, that can be validated. All that matters is that it can be validated in a court of law underneath a court order. Mm-hmm. Okay, that way people's identities can be protected. Yep. But sources must be protected from reprisals. That is the way that fucking works. And if somebody goes on record with me and I give them my word that I will not blab their identity to anyone, okay, my word is my bond, and I will not do that. I don't care if you want to sit there on the other side of it when you try and ambush me and say, well, did you consider the mental state of the person you talked to? It's like, well, it's that kind of shit right there. You automatically think you know exactly who it is I spoke with. Right. Which means you're probably making that person's life hell as well. Right. Okay. And I know who you're referring to when you say that, when you indicate these things. Okay, but that's regardless. I'm not giving up my sources. No matter how much you want to bitch and moan, I'm not allowing you to make these people's lives hell just because they
Right.
went on record with me.
Exactly.
They are.
And you know,
It's just
here's
the way it works.
right. And here's the thing. I offered him the opportunity to come onto the show, just like I did Nathan Thompson, for these very same reason, right? I've taken a bit of criticism for that, and I understand, right? Because of the whole Nathan Thompson thing. I get it, and I expected it. But in the instance of, you know, because I want to be as fair as possible to everybody whom I may do or not do a story on. If I'm doing a story on Darth Dawkins and JL, I'm going to give Dawkins the opportunity to defend himself. He deserves that much. I did, and he refused. He declined, which is fine. I gave James from Modern Day Debate the opportunity to defend himself. He has declined 3 times now. And that's fine. I'm not saying they have to. You know, here's the opportunity. I'm going to give it to you. If you take it, cool, we'll do it. If not, you know, that's up to you. I'm not sitting here thinking that I'm the fucking, you know, spotlight from the Boston Globe and, hey, I'm going to blow the story on all these fucking guys. No, it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Darth Dawkins, deep throat is not. Okay, it's not like this dude has his pulse on the, you know, like the darkness of the government or something.
Right.
Shit, like holding some deep secrets. He is not some font of information that's gonna blow the lid off anything.
Right.
The dude is a fucking asshole who mistreats people on the internet because it's all he's fucking got.
Yeah.
Because the choices he's made in his life, and unfortunately some circumstances beyond his control, have made his life very, very fucking depressing. So all he's got is basically, you know, 10 hours a day on freaking Discord, making people feel like shit, including his fellow Christians, because when no atheists are around, he will devour them as well. Because even though there's no atheists, the pack must still feed.
Yeah.
That's just simply the way it is.
He is a particularly interesting person. I will say that. Really quick, for 5 American, wrote it, no last name, says, the sign that Darth Dawkins is losing, he goes ad hom every single time. Absolutely. He has to, you know, the don't overtalk me thing, you know, the race, I haven't heard him use racial slurs. I have heard him use homophobic slurs.
I've been privy to homophobia. I've been privy to transphobia. I've been privy to misogyny. He's got a real disdain for women, a real hatred for homosexuals, a real hatred for transsexuals. I have heard implied racism.
Yeah.
He's never directly. I mean, obviously. I mean, I would be, if I were to simply come out and say that Darth Dawkins is a racist, I'm comfortable saying that.
Right.
Because I like saying the N-word is not the bar for racism. Okay, it's not.
Yeah,
You know,
I wish people would stop with that. That all you got to, well, if you don't, you know, he never said the N-word, so he can't be a racist. Get the fuck out. Come on.
It's like, oh, come on, dude. It's a little more. I think racism can be a little more nuanced than that.
It's definitely, it's a lot more nuanced than that. But
when
anyway.
it was when the shit went down with George Floyd, when that whole incident took place, and this country was ripping itself apart through in the racial argument or whatever the craziness was in my eyes, the justified emotional reaction of a group of people to consistent and systematic mistreatment by authority figures, by the people that are supposed to be there to protect them. That's what I see. Okay. Now, he can disagree with that all he wants. He can. He's entitled to do that.
Sure.
But when you use that event in order to say, oh, I can finally, you know, kind of say what I want to say without really saying it.
Yeah.
Man, the fact that if Darth is listening, the fact that you think that people are this fucking dumb, are so dumb that we don't pick up on that. I mean, I don't know if that speaks to your arrogance, it speaks to your fucking hubris, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you're a 60 fucking year old man. I don't know. You're stuck in your whatever. But people are not that stupid, dude.
No.
We are on to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's the thing. Fohammer 335, my mistake. For 5 Americans says, JL, maybe you can summon Darth Dawkins' soul from the pits of hell and return it to him. I don't think his soul wants to go back. That is one fucked up house, and there's not enough maids to clean it.
Yeah, Jessica, I swear to God, I'm not saying it.
Sounds. That's okay. I'll say it for you, Jessica. Pretend I'm JL. Soma. Jessica G says, sounds like there's a lot of fear in the voice of J.L. Warren. Are you that titified of Darth Dawkins?
You know what? I'll give you this, Jessica G. No, but I find you very titillating.
Have you been to Jessica G's video game streaming recently?
I have. I watched her stream. I watched her stream Doom 3. I watched her stream Doom. I watched her stream Dark Souls 3. And what was that first thing? Crap. I've seen 3 of them because I've been able. She's gone live while I've been at work, so I think I've been able to drop in there a couple of times.
She's got a new vocal mic. Sound really.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Much more saucy. That was more a crack at JL than Darth Dawkins. Well, yes, of course.
What did he say? Maybe I can summon DD's soul from the pits of hell and return it to him. It blows my mind. It really does. Now,
so
at this point,
go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
At this point, Darth loves to tell people, I've been doing this for 10 years, ever since the days of Pal Talk.
Yeah.
And the reason he got off of Pal Talk is because because Pal Talk, whoever has the mic, you can't interrupt them. You can't overtalk them. So somebody has the mic, they have it for like 2 minutes.
Ooh, Lord of the Flies. It's the Lord of the Flies rule.
Yes. If you have the conch, then you're the one who gets to speak. That's pretty much it. And he fucking hated that. He wanted to jump in there.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So when he got to when Discord came up, he immediately jumped on there. But he's been doing it so long. All of us, every atheist out there is aware of his poor argumentation. They're aware of his bait and switch maneuvers. We are aware of the fact that that his dialogue tree creates false dichotomies and creates poor and basically uses very specific and coordinated terminology in order to trap people into shit that they did not agree to, that they don't agree with. Okay, because if they then balk at it, they'd be like, no, wait a minute. You're trying to trap me in a position that is dishonest. And then all of a sudden, we're fucking liars, or we're moving to plan B atheism. We're trying to obfuscate or argue or become disruptive or whatever excuses you fucking give when you get forced off his fucking script.
Yep.
And then kicks and bans because that's all he's fucking got. But the problem is, like the emails he sent you, like the little the messages he sent you, Darth doesn't have the balls to come off of Reformation. And the reason for this is because, and I'll actually give credit to this, partly because of James, because James would actually mute him when he got out of control on MDD. So he won't debate on MDD if James is there, if James is moderating. He won't let him do it because he'd get out of control and James would shut him down. And he'd get so out of control, James would laugh. Because honestly, when he gets out of control, it's fucking funny. Because he's just then he'll mute him for like 30 seconds, turn it back on, and he's still talking.
That's like that Philip pigeon.
Yes, just like Philip the Pigeon Amon.
We're gonna call him Pidge.
So,
that's what we're gonna call his new name.
Then he'll go to other servers, and his little gaggle of fucking like twisted ducklings will follow him. Okay, so all of a sudden, a server's traffic boosts. Whoa, they get huge. And then the server owner's like, oh, this is amazing, man, we got Darth. And then, but before he does this, he sets it up. If I demand someone be muted, you have to mute them. If I demand someone be kicked, you have to kick them. Like, he went to some random server, with some rando atheist server the other day. Tom Rabbit put up his channel. And then he goes in. Then Jack Angstrike, who is like the self-professed nemesis of Darth Dawkins, the dude is hilarious. Jack Angstrike comes in and just sits there. He doesn't say anything. He just followed Darth into the server and just sat there. Darth immediately starts crying to the server owner, kick him out, ban him for violating terms of service. Because apparently in Darth's mind, stalking him, or what he perceives as stalking him from server to server, even if you don't interact with him, is a violation of terms of service. That Jack and him cannot be on the same server at the same time. It's a violation of the TOS for some reason. And he wanted him banned. And the server owner was like, dude, I'll like kick him out of the room, but I'm not banning this guy from my server. He didn't do anything. And the Darth was like, well, I quit. I'm out of here. And then he left. and that's what he does.
I'm gonna take my ball and go home.
Exactly. So that's why he hides on Reformation.
Yep.
Because Reformation is the only place that he has kick and mute power. He has been either banned from every other server, from so many other servers he's visited, or the owners will not give him kick and ban power because they value the rest of their audience. Not all servers belong to Darth.
Yeah, and I got to say that if you're in Reformation and you are one of the mods or owners or you run that room, allowing Darth Dawkins to kick and ban people like me, I went in there. I didn't curse at anybody. I wasn't being belligerent. I wish I could pull up the chat that I had with other members outside of Darth Dawkins. What Darth Dawkins like to do is he threw some shit at me, and then I tried to say, well, like, whatever, but he mutes you right in between. So he'll come in, like, he throws fucking stones at you and then hides behind his glass shields that can't be whatever, you know what I mean? I can, I'm high. No, you can't respond to the things that I'm saying to you, because I mean, it gives, he jerks off on power.
Yeah.
So I went into Reformation and I was mining for other debaters. I was looking for. I thought you were going to just ignore Darth Dawkins JL. Did I miss something? Asks Jessica G. Yeah, I brought JL in to kind of pick JL's brain about this subject a little more, because he has more experience and familiarity with Darth Dawkins than I do. So that was me. That's on me. And JL's talking about things that happened before he made the decision to ignore Darth Dawkins. So.
Yeah, at this point right now, I will talk about it if it's brought up if somebody asked me the question, but I'm not dedicating any content towards him. I did do this short where I basically said I call that the God that Darth Dawkins argues for is paradoxical, because I found it to be very, very interesting. But I'm not going to call the dude out anymore. I'm not going to make a video saying Darth Dawkins is a big turd face. I'm not going to do that anymore. Yeah. There's no point in making creative content based on the guy. I've said my piece. Someone did give me the idea. I think that was me. I think it was you. Yeah. Of doing a video about his dialogue tree, and to basically look at all his videos, look at all his arguments, and basically break down and actually say this is what his dialogue tree is. Like, he'll enter the conversation. This is what he says first. Then your response leads to this or this or this. So actually, the entire flow chart. And actually lay that out so that people would understand exactly what, and we could point out in it exactly where the fallacies are, exactly where the false dichotomies are. This is a trap. This is what he's doing. This is how he stated it. Like just the other day, it dawned on me when he asked you the question, because he thinks that God is if God is the necessary precondition for all facts and everything is causally related to God. Okay, so you either agree or disagree that all facts are causally related to God.
Right.
So do you agree with this? That not all facts stand? Is that your world? Is that your position? That not all facts stand in causal relation to God? The problem with that, it fucking dawned on me. I can't believe this. That's a setup, because in that question right there, whenever you hear it, you'll hear him ask it. He's not asking you about a world with no God in it. He's simply stating that. You just deny that God exists. So in both situations, God still exists. Just in one of them, you're just denying it. That's it. But if you agree, if you say, yeah, it's this side, you just agreed that God existed, which gives his argumentation validity to continue down a particular path, because you unknowingly agreed to something thinking that it was something else. And that's why he takes on white belt atheists all the time.
Right.
Okay, so he can slide shit past them.
Yep.
So,
and Darth Dawkins does serve as an interesting study in how to construct an argument, because one thing he does do well is construct his argument, because like just for those reasons you said. And let's say you get around that pitfall, right? Let's say you sniffed this one out. Well, he's got 4 or 5 more just waiting to set up. Oh yeah. So he is good at what he does, especially if you're an inexperienced debater. But if you can recognize the 2 or the 3 tells that he's setting you up, the leading questions, and people who have debated, who do this stuff on the regular, they can see that shit. They're like, no, that's a leading question, or that's you're setting up a false premise, or you're assuming that this, and you haven't even proven that. You haven't even given me evidence for your assumption. So
I think the best one I've heard recently, if nobody else has heard it, was there's a philosopher who goes under the name of Leophilus, and Leophilus has been on agree to disagree. The dude is crazy fucking smart, really really smart dude, and young. So he's got a really bright future ahead of him. He was in someone else's stream on someone else's channel. They were talking whatever there. I guess they were bringing people in, and they brought in Darth, and Darth was talking to Leo. Leo is not to be trifled with. Leo knows exactly what the fuck is going on. He also is very, very aware of Darth, which is why it was so funny when Darth started out. Well, what are you? Well, obviously Darth means, are you an atheist or a theist? Like, what are you? But he just says, what are you? Leo was like, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
And then Darth is immediately like, well, listen, smart ass. He's like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Come on, Darth.
Yeah.
Don't fucking be obsequious just because you fucking can.
That's the thing. He gets so angry so quickly. Like with me, whenever he asked, would you like for me to get the exact quote? And I said, well, if that makes you happy or if it makes you feel better, sure. Listen here, asshole. I don't have time to deal with little shits like you. Like, fucking hell, that was easy. I didn't even try and I triggered your ass. Holy shit. How sad is it that you live your life so fragilely, so you have to tiptoe on eggshells around this? I mean, come on. If a nobody like me can make one little bitty teeny tiny snide comment and that gets you all kinds of twisted, fucking hell, man. I don't know what you're going to do with the people who actually want to get you twisted up. I honestly don't give two shits one way or the next. I don't care. I mean,
I would, if he'd had the stones. I mean, if he had the balls to debate PhD Tony, I would have taken a day off from work just to listen to that.
Oh, that's.
I would. I'd have been here at my desk. I'd have had drinks.
Yeah.
I'd have had popcorn. I'd have just been like the Michael Jackson gift. I just want to. I want to hear this dude take on a legit fucking PhD. Not a PhD in philosophy. A legit PhD scientist,
right.
Someone who's got whose finger is on the pulse of what is really going on.
Right.
That would have been a bloodbath. Absolutely.
Oh, this is the Darth Dawkins bingo. Let's see here.
It's so amazing. Oh, to point out, Robert Kaz says, have you seen Shannon Q's debate with Darth? Yes, Shannon Q is a psychologist. She lives up in Canada. She's, I believe, has her master's in psychology. I think she's working towards her PhD. This girl is insanely smart, so freaking good.
Yeah.
And so she was on MDD. I think it was James was moderating. Anyway, so they had their first interaction, and Darth fucking hates her to absolute pieces. Calls her like duckface Shannon and some crap. But
why? Really?
Because he's a fucking asshole. But when she heard him talking and all of a sudden it clicked for her, because you don't go into a debate if you're a good faith debater, you don't go in expecting the worst from your opponent. You go in thinking, I'm going to be charitable, they're going to be charitable, we're going to have an understanding of terms, we need clarification, we will ask, and then we'll carry on with the conversation.
Right.
But so she went in, just completely clear-minded, whatever, just try to be as charitable as possible. But you could see on her face when it dawned on her that Darth was being a fucking proctor. And she called him out and said that the way he speaks is fascinating, because as a psychologist, it is fascinating. It really is. Mm-hmm. And she found it, and she was like, wow, you have this way of, and she was picking, I think she has a very deep fondness for linguistics, or she's like trained in linguistics. Yep. So she was picking up she was picking up the nuances of what he was laying down. Man, that pissed him off something fierce.
I saw that part specifically because somebody brought that to my attention. I think this happened right at the same time that you did your video, when you released your video. So it was really close, either like a week before or the week of.
Well, I think Shannon had her debate. Did her debate with Darth, Shannon Q. And if anybody has not checked it out, check out her Twitter. Her Twitter is amazing. And definitely, she worked a lot with the ACA, with the Atheist Community of Austin. Shannon Q versus Darth Dawkins. Shannon Q versus Darth Vader. Oh, I gotta check that out. Shannon Q meets Darth Dawkins. God, this thing was so brilliant. It was so amazing. And this was a mirror. Oh, she mirrored it to her channel. And there's got to be a link. The original. Okay, so the original was on Modern Day Debate, and it was January 11th, 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, January 11th. It was right around the turn of the year, and or of 2020.
Right.
And yeah, she fucking pulled him apart like like a Timmy Hortons donut. It was fucking great.
And that really irks him.
Oh, she was so calm about it, and she was laughing.
Yeah,
like, this is amazing.
Yeah, she kind of approached it like it was a case study.
Yes,
and he really is a case study of. I mean, she could probably do her doctoral thesis on Darth Dawkins.
She probably could.
The entire thing, one subject, the entire thing, and probably if she did it right, would get high marks. This guy, like I said, he is such a ego fragile person. It's really interesting how it's so easy to just get the guy bent out of shape. He was probably pissed off before he even got into the room. Like, hey, you're going to be debating a woman.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, Robert Caslow. He was dissected like a frog in lab.
Yes.
Oh, just laid open. Just
laid bare.
How does it feel to be naked? You're so it just pull, because everybody say your arguments are shit. That doesn't make sense. Blah blah blah. It's just like, oh my goodness. So you present this in a specific way in order to maintain a particular level of control within this, and then she's like, so why does he do this?
Yep.
Why does he need to exert this level of control in this particular way and use outlets like MDD in order to do this? Getting her psychological rocks off when dissecting this cat, and he's under the microscope and he fucking hates it because
he can't deal with it. He can't deal with somebody who he believes to be so inferior to him.
Yeah.
And he can't, he could not get her off. He could not get her off her, get her flustered or frustrated. None of that stuff. She just
apparently couldn't get his wife off either.
Oh, Jesus.
I kid.
Oh, Jesus. Fohammer335 for 2 Americans says, of course JL would bring donuts into this. I think you're thinking of Irish Demon.
Goddamn right I will.
But yeah, so that debate was, again, that part where she was, this is really fascinating. He was just so pissed off. He got so angry. And
why was it that word? Why was it that word that made him so mad?
I don't know because yeah, it's just interesting, And he was like, whoa, you could hear it. There was a change that's when she put on her, well, you know what? Fuck trying to debate this asshole because there's no point in it because it's, it's a dishonest debate. Let's just deconstruct the guy. Fuck deconstructing the argument. We're going to deconstruct the guy. And that worked so well because he was taken off his script, couldn't get back on, and she just kept hammering him with questions about what he was doing, not what he was saying. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Completely deconstructed by a woman, Darth Dawkins.
Yeah. She's brilliant. I love Shannon Q to death. Her and I think her boyfriend or fiance, I'm not sure, but Paula Gia. Paula Gia is really, really good too. But she's brilliant. Love her stuff. And her tweets are fire. So if you're big on Twitter and you want to follow somebody, Shannon Q's tweets are absolute fire.
Wait a minute. Wrote it no last name says, have you heard Darth Dawkins try his shit on a Discord of children?
What?
What?
Okay.
No last name. I need some particulars. I'm curious about this.
Yeah, I only heard. See, I pick up most of my stuff because I'm banned. I've been banned from the Reformation server like 5 times, and The last time I got banned, I actually came in and I think I was in there for like 5 minutes, and then Darth banned me just because by virtue of me being me. And I only heard him go off on that 16-year-old Christian girl to the point that he made her cry. And I only heard that one. I got it by way of Tom Rabbit's vids. And I heard him do that. So, but if a Discord full of kids, no. I think there are multiple clips of Darth screaming about psychology and raging against therapy. Yeah, you think he was a fucking Scientologist, you know?
He does have some Scientology traits about him.
Friggin' weird. But no, wrote it no last name. No, I had not heard about that on a Discord. Oh my god, he went into Nathan Thompson territory.
Jeez,
that's just gross.
Yeah, my goodness. There's another one that I had an interesting email exchange with. Good old Nathan Thompson.
I had an interesting email exchange as well.
Mine was nowhere near as disturbing as yours.
Ew.
That's just so. How somebody can claim to be anti-homosexual. I
don't know.
And then do those things.
I mean, I'm bi, but I wouldn't touch Nathan's shit with Darth's dick. You know, I wouldn't. Nathan is fine. I'm not going to call him Natalie anymore. I'm going to call him Nastily, because that cat is nasty.
I mean, I don't get it. Why is that a thing? Why is it? I've never understood that. Oh, gay people they're stupid. Suck my dick, bro. Suck my dick. Come on, man.
I'm not versed enough to try. I mean, obviously there's the idea that potentially he's closeted and he's very, very ashamed of who he is or the feelings that he feels. He may not even be gay, but he may have attraction towards men, and it may just be that. He may dig women more, but he's attracted. He may find some men attractive. Maybe luscious bears like myself. I don't know.
Apparently, because he's sending you peen pics.
The expression of that in that he wants to. It's okay in the community, in the gay community, because it's kind of like hate fucking or hate kissing. It's kind of like you do it because there's rage behind it. Rage against yourself, self-hatred, and then that self-hatred is expressed in order to avoid becoming self-destructive, to where you kill yourself because of these unresolved feelings.
Right.
You express that at the targets that match that. Like, you remind me of what I am, of who I am, and why I hate myself. So I'm going to attack you because you're a reflection of how I feel.
Yeah.
Of what I am. So they take it out like that, and they know that it's justified, because if he sent that to a girl, then the wheels are coming off. Okay? But there's arguably, there's probably less risk sending it to a guy, because there are a lot of guys out there who are not going to raise the flag and go, "He sent me a dick pic." Because he's banking on the fact that I'm going to feel I'm so manly that I would never admit that another man sent me a dick pic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? So that whole masculinity business. Well, hey, somebody send me. You know what? Look, if Nathan Thompson were stupid enough to send me a dick pic, I'm gonna blast him for that shit. Like, look, that ain't cool, dude. That's just not. I don't understand. I really don't. I don't. I mean, it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, suck my dick, bro. But it's another thing to be like, suck my dick, and here it is. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I think it's his attempt to be egregious. It really is. For one thing, for me calling Nathan Thompson an asshole or an egregious asshole or a piece of shit or like this, that's one thing. When it comes to people's sexuality, especially a sexuality that they themselves cannot accept, for whatever reason, they simply cannot reconcile the thoughts they have in their own heads. They cannot reconcile that this is who they might be, that he may in fact be to a particular persuasion, not hetero. I don't want to propose what he might be or might not be, okay? Because once you start diving into that, you start diving into very, very scary territory
Yeah.
as to what the person may do in response to these certain things, and especially harming themselves. As much as I don't like Nathan, I don't want to see anybody hurt themselves unduly, especially if they're mentally ill. These people need our help. They don't need our disdain, because too many people fall through the cracks. And if Nathan Thompson self-destructs, I have to swallow it. I have to say, I hope somebody's there to get him the help he needs. Because
he really does. And you know, that in my back and forth with Nathan Thompson, you know, I didn't get nasty with the guy. I didn't, whatever. You know, he does his thing, and I don't care. You call me what, I don't give a fuck. Call me whatever fucking name you want to call me. I don't give a shit. Whatever, I don't care. And I said, you know, all I said to him was like, man, you're really easily triggered. I think you know, whatever you got going on, you need to get some help, and I hope you get the help that you need. I really do. I wish you all the best. Just, you know, get whatever, you know, genuinely, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm genuinely hope he gets the help that he needs, because he, and same thing with Darth Dawkins. He needs help too. They need mental help. Somebody needs some serious, somebody to sit down and just, you know, hey, let's figure this out. You know, what's going on to cause you this kind of, because people don't act this way just because they're assholes. There's something going on.
Yeah.
In, you know, in their heads that's creating these big personalities that they just want to, you know, overshadow and overpush, and, you know, they want to dominate everything. It's like, come on, man. You know, there's like Darth Dawkins, dude, you're 60 years old. There has got to be something better in your life than getting onto Discord for 10 hours a day and screaming whatever it is you scream. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. You can't go play shuffleboard with the old folks?
Someone. I mean, I think it would be fair to say, atheism should not piss him off this much.
No, it really shouldn't.
There is something deeper there. He is angry at something, and atheism is the target. So I'm willing to bet it's not atheism itself that angers him so much. Because when it comes down to it, he could literally hang up his hat and say, "Well, I'm going to heaven. They're going to hell. Fuck them."
Yeah, right.
And he's done with it. Because I guarantee you, he ain't converting anybody. That dude has deconverted more Christians than he has made Christians. That's the reality of it. His argumentation is so bad, and his attitude is such shit.
Yeah.
I personally know Christians who he has driven from the faith. He has driven Roman Catholics, born Roman Catholics, to non-denominational. Okay, he is driven.
Is Darth Dawkins? Does he classify as a Catholic?
No, he is essentially. I think he's never said specifically his church. I think he was Baptist, just by the way he talks.
Yeah,
but I do know he's fundamentalist.
I was going to say he sounds like he's fundamentalist. First Baptist, maybe. If he's from the East Coast area.
He is East Coast, yes.
Okay, he probably, I don't know. It's tough. He could be First Baptist, real fundy First Baptist. He's definitely not.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, I agree. I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah. He has that you know, the sinners in the hands of an angry God about him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, probably really fundamentalist. Robert Caswell says, does Darth make enough money off of YouTube, or does he have a pension? I have no idea. I don't know what Darth does for money.
He doesn't. I don't know. I mean, if I say too much, you could probably track him down. But no, he does not make any money from Discord.
Yeah. Presuppositionalist. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's okay. So I think I said in my video, he is a fundamentalist, presuppositionalist, Christian apologist.
It's a lot of ists.
Yes. So, and he fucking hates the Catholics. He hates the Catholics. He hates liberals.
He's
hates
definitely
Hollywood.
First Baptist. He's definitely First Baptist, because there's, I don't know why First Baptists, or Baptists in general, have an issue with Catholics.
Oh, I thought Eileen Dover was I thought Eileen Dover was telling a joke. What's the difference between a First Baptist and a Second Baptist? I thought that was a setup for a joke. And then Eileen was just like, or is there such a thing? I was like, oh. There's got to be a punchline.
There is a punchline to that joke, yeah. So I leaned over. They're not called Second Baptists. They're called usually Second Baptists are going to be your Southern Baptists. Yeah, the difference is, well, again, it all depends on the specific church. But Southern Baptists are generally a little more. Their fundamentalism is different than what First Baptists.
Oh, that's gross.
What happened?
Generally speaking, First Baptist churches are founded by Caucasian Baptists.
Yeah.
Second Baptist churches are founded by African American Baptists.
Yep.
See, this
There's
is
that
what I'm
too.
talking about. When I have bridge the divide on my YouTube content, this is the shit I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Underlying bullshit like this.
Yeah.
Fucking fundy asshole.
Yeah. And you know what? What the hell was that? Oh, just my stupid scared by my own shit.
I can't find a punchline to this joke. We may have to create a punchline to this joke. What is the difference between a First Baptist and a Second Baptist? Oh, now that
Shane Somer says the way the boys are touched. Sorry, not sorry. Dr. Osiris, welcome to the Plot Hole Crew. Got a new member. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Oh,
don't forget. Don't forget, all you new members. I just put out a new emoji, so you have a new custom emoji. If I can make it work, all my members blast the new emojis. Let's do it. Let's see what we got. For some reason, it doesn't want to work because it's YouTube. Anyway. The USA is a land of extremes. On one side, you have the most intelligent people on Earth. On the other side, you have the most dumb religious fucks ever to inhabit this planet. Now, here's the thing.
Oh.
I hate the fact that it's so divided, right?
Mm-hmm.
That people, the loudest of these people are the extremists. There are so many people that are in the middle. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, more people than I think. More people in the middle, more people in the gray area, or I say in the Venn diagram in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think people give credit. Or people acknowledge. We overlap in so many ways. It's crazy, and all we can focus on is the shit that separates us.
Because they're generally the people that are the loudest, right? So if you look at Westboro Baptist Church, for instance, and now I know that their 15 minutes is over because that main asshole died and nobody cares about his daughter. Gives two shits about that lady, but
nobody cares about you, Shirley.
Nobody cares, Shirley.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. But if you look at their 15 minutes, how many people are in the Westboro Baptist Church? Like 40?
Yeah, it's really small. It's really, really tiny congregation.
And here we are, people talk about them because they're loud, because of the things they say. There it goes again.
Oh, I think I thought up a punchline.
Okay, what do you got?
Let me see. Okay, let me get this. What is the difference between a First Baptist and a Second Baptist? The police actually show up at Second Baptist domestic calls.
Oh, that's fucked.
I'm sorry. Is that bad? Is that bad?
Yeah. It's true too. Or when the police show up, they arrest the shooter at the Second Baptist and take him to go get Whataburger. How fucked up was that? Fohammer 335 is a new plot hole. Welcome to the Plot Hole Crew. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. But
by the way, you just reminded me of something else.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned someone mentioned like dumb religious shit. Someone mentioned a comment. Poseidon63 said the USA is a land of extremes. On one side, you have the most intelligent people on Earth. On the other side, you have the most dumb religious fucks ever to inhabit this planet. That's the truth. If anybody is watching the show, Solar Opposites, it's an animated show, completely, totally irreverent, very, very much for adults. Not lots of sexual stuff, but lots of language and violence in it. But it's funny as shit. It's about a bunch of aliens here on planet Earth, and part of their arsenal, they have a bunch of guns that do different things. And they have a smart gun and they have a dumb gun. So if you shoot things, and you can make them dumb. And at one point, they get into a fight, and one of the aliens grabs the dumb gun and goes to shoot his brother. because his brother's always lording his intelligence over him. So he goes to shoot it, and his brother like dodges and drops the book he's reading, and the dumb gun shoots the book he's reading, and it turns into the Holy Bible.
Robert Caslow has a different punchline for our joke.
Okay.
He says they light the cross at the Second Baptist Church.
Oh, that's fucked
Jeez.
up. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Golly.
This is going to be an infamous stream.
Yeah. There we go. Just for the wow.
I think Robert Caslow wins. I don't think I can outdo that without going into without going into Irish demon territory.
Yeah. All right. So getting back to Darth Dawkins.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to say, I think it's funny how he gets in and out. He's like, I'm going to run in, I'm going to run out. Well, run in, run out. Just say some really mean things and try to hurt your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hurt your feelings. What is this? Let's see here. So after, okay, so there was an exchange that I did. I went into the Reformation server, into the atheist room, looking for people who wanted to come on and actually have intellectual discussions, honest debates, right? And I got in there, and I got a little pushback, and I looked at it, I said, look, I get it. I'm the new guy in here. I understand nobody really understands. Or not nobody understands. Is that I'm the new guy, and you got to be kind of a little standoffish to the new guy who comes in here saying, hey, look, I got debates and whatnot. And I get it, especially if, you're used to hearing Darth Dawkins do his bullshit. Then, yeah, I would be a little trepidatious of somebody coming in saying, hey, I'm looking for debaters. Oh, you know what I mean? I get it. So I quashed that really quick, and then you started having, actual conversation with other people. What kind of debaters are you looking for? I said, well, I've got some topics that people want to debate, these, that, and the other, and, young earth creationism, et cetera, et cetera. And then I said, Darth Dawkins seemed to be a little irritated. He seemed to be a little irritated when I presented a debate opportunity to him. And JL, by what you read, is that not a fair assessment?
Oh, that was extremely fair. Absolutely.
Right. So the screenshots of the conversation that Darth Dawkins and I had, I mean, I didn't say, hey, he was irritated as fuck. I said he seemed to be a little irritated with.
Yeah, he's the one who who legit went off the rails.
Yeah.
And it didn't take him long to do it either.
And that's the thing.
I'm glancing over it, and no, you legitimately kept your answers so short and succinct and to the point. And never insulted, never ad homed, and pretty much gave him all the. You were the only one who was charitable in that conversation. So yeah.
Yeah, and even in the like I said, when I was in the, I can't pull the conversation now because I'm banned because Darth Dawkins says that I got in there and misrepresented his position, grossly lied. Like, fuck off, dude. I mean, get out of here. You seem to be a bit irritated.
He was. I think. What did he say? That it was. It was a 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 45 seconds.
Oh, I need to check that. That's what I was going to do. I was going to pull up that.
He gave you a time code. I know the video's on there. I just don't know specifically which one it is.
Let me see if I can find it. Because I'm curious. Let's see here. It was the one that you did. You came on right after your. Yeah, here it is. Darth Dawkins' reaction to JL. Let me see.
Okay.
What was it? 105? What was it?
He said 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 45 seconds. I'm going to say this.
Okay.
He's such a doofus, too. That's the thing. He doesn't understand how dumb he is.
Yep, I did call him a doofus.
It was a little embarrassing. Oh, I mean, I would say it was embarrassing for me. It was at Anthony Levy or something like that. This is... Like,
it's kind of funny.
F off, blah, blah, blah. You suck. You're an idiot. You're a fucking atheist, liar, and misrepresent me, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I was expecting that. I wasn't expecting the lighthearted comment that I got. He was like, haha, this made me laugh. Okay, well, wow. Is it true? Is it false? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't know.
Oh, he got mad because I called him a doofus.
So it's been weird. It's been really, really interesting. Well, hang on a second. Go back a little bit before that because were you referring to him?
I believe so.
And to
Hang on.
tie it up, so that was the experience with Darth. And then fucking Rad Vlad commented.
I saw that he was all over.
Maybe that's who I was talking about.
Yes, hold up. Dude. He's got like 6 comments on there. Instead of keeping them in one thread, he just kept commenting. I'm sitting there like, oh,
That's who we were talking about. We were talking about Rad Vlad.
He's commenting as he's watching it. He's like, oh, I got something new to say.
Oh, he's
Oh,
such
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, that's who we were talking about. I knew I didn't call Darth Dawkins a doofus, a fucking moron. Darth Dawkins, you're an idiot. Now here you go. Now I can say you're a moron with utter confidence, complete confidence. You're a moron. I didn't call you a doofus. I called somebody else a doofus, you oversensitive piece of shit.
Everyone in the live chat saw it. Fucking debunked live.
Debunked live.
Okay, Darth Dawkins legit said, you called me a doofus and dumb at 1:05:45. Here's the link where I am at the Reformation server, blah, 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 blah. That is a direct message that he sent to Johnny when he was going after him. So, and we just proved it. No, we weren't talking about you, Darth. We were talking about Rad Vlad because he is a doofus and he is a moron.
Yeah.
But we weren't doing it. No. Boom. Debunked. Fuck you.
Yep. What a guy. That's so funny. I didn't.
He was looking to be insulted. That's what he wanted to happen.
Yes, he wanted to be insulted because he has to play the victim. That makes him feel all the better for being so nasty to people. If he's constantly being attacked, it's okay for him to be an asshole. I'm just defending myself. Okay, whatever, dude.
Yes, Jinju. Yes, Darth Dawkins is the one that goes absolute ape shit if you get him off script.
Yep.
Poo flinging ape shit.
Yeah. Is Rad Vlad a flurf or a good guy? Rad Vlad is a flurf. He's an entertaining flurf. He's a misogynistic flurf.
Team has a better opinion of him than I do.
I think that I think that he's gotten a little better. He's not as he's not as trying to think. He's no what's his name? Flat Earth Jesus.
Oh god.
When Vlad says he puts out his insults, he's just being goofy. He's not really trying to be mean. You know what I mean? Maybe he was at first, but I think now that he's had a few interactions, even the quote insult that he threw at you, JL, I don't think he was intentionally trying to be mean. I think he was just bantering back and forth. You're gonna call me stupid, I'm gonna say some stupid shit back to you. You know what I mean?
Oh, when he called me a beta?
Yeah, I don't think he was really trying to be. I'm hurt JL's feelings right now. You know what I mean?
Maybe I didn't hurt my feelings. Maybe
no.
I was embarrassed that that this is I was like, oh, what are you gonna call me, a chat? I was like, oh, beta. Oh, you're a fucking Kyle, man. It's like, come on, dude. Literally, we're gonna come on Team Stream. I'm gonna spend almost 2 hours here bantering back and forth with you, and the best you've got is beta. It's like, well, you're a Chad, bro. It's like, what the fuck, man? If I wanted that shit, I'd go to fucking Reformation.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
So
that's Jesse Lee Peterson shit too.
Yeah, it's like you go to these fucking Discord channels, like, you're a fucking cuck, man. It's like, all right, dude, Trump's not in office anymore. Yeah. You can drop the bullshit. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
think he's playing with a full deck.
No, he's not.
I don't think he is. Just by the things that he would say in those comments. If anybody goes to that video that and actually reads his comments, the shit that he posits, it's not. He's wrong, yes, but I don't think he's playing with a full deck. No. Someone took the aces out of his deck.
I think it's maybe all the steroids. So Nerthan Termson says, it's good to see you, by the way, Nerthan. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you back. Says beta is the lowest effort insult ever. It really is, because what does it even mean? You're second in command? So what? So stupid. And then Caliban says either Rad Vlad or the flirt with Rowdy Roddy Piper as an avatar is also transphobic. I think Rad Vlad has said some transphobic stuff. And again, I don't recall the context of what he said, and I think it's important to remember the context. I'm not trying to excuse homophobic slurs in any, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to excuse that. If he's homophobic and he's, being extremely overt and mean about it, yeah, okay, then we need to call that shit out. But every now and again, especially with somebody who's, JL and I's age, Rad seems to be in our age bracket. Growing up, we used to call kids, we used to say, use homophobic language all the time. And we weren't really, like, I'm not homophobic. JL's definitely not homophobic. JL, you've used that terminology before in the past, right? Calling us, oh, you're just gay, or you're a fat, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
When I was young,
kids.
when I was young and very, very ignorant. Yes.
Exactly. Some of us grow out of that, right? Radvi is kind
Absolutely.
of stuck in that. He's still stuck in that era because that's where the toxic masculinity thing comes into play, where it's I have to be macho man and no gay bad. Me macho, gay bad. Macho good, gay bad. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude, grow the fuck up.
Like none of them have listened to Ron White.
Robert Caslaw says, didn't the beta guy debate Professor Dave? Yeah, that was Jesse Lee Peterson. And that was the stupidest debate.
That was fucking trash.
Oh my God. It's just stupid. God's auditor. I've said it before, Radvi. It looks like he cheats at golf.
while playing alone.
Yeah, while playing alone.
Because no one wants to play with Red Light, but he'll still cheat when he's playing by himself.
He's a guy. He's a guy that when he plays golf by himself, he'll come in with oh man, I shot a 59, and then you play him and you wonder where that 59 went because he's at 72 and we haven't even made it to the back nine yet.
Terrible. Faux Hammer 35. He's 3 fries short of a Happy Meal.
He's a Happy Meal short of a Happy Meal.
He's a couple scouts short of Jamboree. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I wrote it on Slam says same. I made homophobic and racist jokes as a kid. Guess what? I grew up and learned. Exactly. I mean, most people grow up and they learn, hey, that's probably not the best thing to say, especially if you're trying to be somebody who is inclusive of other people. And, you don't necessarily have to, I tell people all the time, look, whether you agree with it or not, it's immaterial. Don't be an asshole about it.
Exactly. I like what Nerthan Terps would say. Did you see that?
Which one? Yeah, that hasn't changed. I was only in high school a few years ago, threw the F slur around a lot. Fast forward a few years, I'm super gay, super gay. It's not what you said, it's how you said it, Nerthan. That's hilarious.
He's elite level gay. Like subscription service gay. $14.99 a month.
$14.99 a month.
And if you recruit a friend, you get special perks.
Robert Castle thought women being gay was bad. Then I watched a few episodes in a certain forum and hooked ever since.
Robert Castle's amazing. And that subscription service, in order to recruit friends, is a bottle of tequila.
Oh man, Nerthan, you're one of the good people. I like seeing you in here all the time. Anytime. We done fucked up. There's Team Skeptic.
Oh shit!
This party either got started or is about to end real fast.
Ain't no party like a Team Skeptic party, because a Team Skeptic party gets really.
Man, you were there. You had it. You were almost there.
I was almost there.
But yeah, Jinju. Let me explain this once more. I speak every language on the planet except Greek, and they're all Greek to me. Did I mention that I'm Greek?
That was awesome. That was well done.
Nerthan Term said, "Oh yeah, those perks." Fohammer 335 says we all made homophobic and racist jokes. I grew up in a very racist organization that was the Second Baptist in the early jokes. Yep, I grew out of it too. Yeah. Yep, that's the thing, man. We learn that, hey, that's not cool. You know what I mean? Every now and again, saying don't make people feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Well, it says so was Daryl M. Who said Team Skeptic 3 times?
Hey, what's do you remember the? Well, yeah, I think I remember this one. Hang on. I'm over here talking.
Faux hammer team Suka sticks.
Suka. Where'd you go? There you are. Boom. Oh, it's Whiskey Wednesday. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, they had that going on. Was Irish on tonight?
I don't know. There you are, team. Yeah, I'm okay with you being off your rocker. You get taken off the spam email list when recruiting a friend. But that depends on the type of spam. That's all I'm going to say. Some of that spam is interesting. You know how they tell you that, well, depending on what sites you visit, that's what type of spam you get. I call bullshit. Because I have never visited the animal type sites. That's all I'm going to say.
God's auditor. Tony Regime, it is not a category I expect Rad Vlad to have searched. I do, however, believe that huge cock has appeared in his search history. And, he gives that look over his shoulder. Like,
yeah, where is it? So we're apparently we're
black cock.
Oh, jeez, demonetized. Let's see. Apparently, Team Skeptic is 3 sheets right now, so I'm supposed to. Everybody's warning me that Team Skeptic is jalapeno spam. Yes, jalapeno spam. I do get the occasional Smokin' Ed's. Whatchamacallit?
I have the occasional number 2 that feels like jalapeno spam.
What? Oh.
I said I have the. That was kind of gross. Sorry.
That was kind of gross.
That was gross. I really am curious if Darth was watching this, because he checks for his name.
Oh, he does. That's why I made sure to put it first.
I saw that. Saw the hashtag.
Hashtag. Yeah. I want him to see it because I've got him muted now, and now he can sit there and rage type me all he wants, and all of his messages are going to come back red.
Was he actually in the chat? Did you? Because I think on YouTube he'll be in his Evolution False.
I have no idea. Thor Rasmussen for 50 Donkey Kong dollars. Are those Danish? What are those Danish krone Kirk? I don't know what's good. Anyway, spending a little of the hard-earned money on you. I absolutely appreciate it. Many thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you. Chickens. You're talking about big black chickens. There he is. All right, let me get you in the old. Well, it's because OBS Ninja is kind of shitty. It really is. It's good to use because I can't afford the good stuff. All right, let me make sure we can hear you.
Hey, team.
Still haven't shaved your face.
There he
Why?
is.
I don't plan to.
Why would he shave his face?
Yeah, it's taking
you
years.
blind?
No,
No, I'm just kidding. I like that. I wish I could grow that. It would take me literally 85 years to grow a beard like what's on the side of your face.
85 years.
Oh,
All
just to grow this part?
Just the side, yeah. Not even the bottom. The bottom would take 125 given, easy.
Well, your hair does grow after death, so you'd be all right. PhD Tony says, you hear that? At Jail Warren, Soma finds your lack of titty talk disturbing.
She might.
I love PhD Tony. Just putting it out there.
Oh, I'm so bummed we're not gonna get a PhD Tony versus Darth Dawkins debate.
No, well, Darth Dawkins is scared shitless of PhD Tony.
I would be too.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not afraid of PhD Tony. I just know I wouldn't debate him in glacial isostatic.
In the middle of the debate, I would be making a really great point. He would just start monologuing until I fell asleep. Never get the point.
That's how he attains victory.
It's the easiest way.
Goes into what is it? Isostatic glacial adjustment.
Yeah.
Yes.
The time that I was on the South Pole digging up ice sheets,
Actually, his last video was really good. No, I watched his last video. It was really good.
No, I like PhD Tony's videos. I don't know why people, I do know why people rag on him because he's PhD Tony and it works. But he is very. I do like watching his videos.
Because
Yeah,
people
Steve
ain't
Harvey-
always ready to go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And Tony seems to have a video ready at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for every single human on earth.
I can't listen to him after lunch. I will literally drop into a siesta.
Well,
I'm just I can lean back in the chair and just be like, oh.
I've fallen asleep with a thumb in my ass before listening to Tony speak. Tony. That's like something that's never happened to me.
oh jeez. Oh man.
Wait, yours or somebody else's?
We'll never know.
I didn't know myself.
You said you said thumb, so
Aw
it wasn't
thumb.
like my thumb or it's like her
Aw
thumb.
thumb.
It's just a thumb.
Could have been his
Just-
thumb.
Doesn't even necessarily need to be attached to anybody.
Exactly.
You're right. It doesn't need to be attached to an actual physical human being.
Oh man. So there are a couple of people I would like to see debate Darth Dawkins. I would love to see you go after Darth Dawkins.
Oh,
He couldn't handle me.
No, he couldn't. Well, he can't handle me. He can't handle anybody. But yeah, I would.
he apparently couldn't handle his wife.
He could,
Oh,
oh.
I'm sorry, I punched him below the belt. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it's easy to do when talking about Darth Dawkins.
It's true.
But yeah, so I'd like to see you and PhD Tony go after him. JL, I still would like to see you go after him, but I know you don't want to, simply because he's a piece of shit.
PhD Tony is more qualified than I am to go after Darth Dawkins, and I think JL Truth over here would be better than me as well. But I'm the last rung, okay? I'm the last rung on the ladder of anti-Darth Dawkinisms.
Yeah.
Well, only. I mean, PhD Tony's got me by spades. I mean, he could crush all of his bullshit. Whatever.
Yeah,
I've listened to his shit so much, especially in preparation for the video that I did on him. I've listened to so much of his bullshit that I have it damn near memorized. And that's why I said my piece and I go like that. I don't even think he would at this point. I don't think he would actually debate me because he's labeled me off as a slanderer and I think he wanted to hit me for slander and libel for some reason because I don't fucking know. But
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
yeah. So he wants
File a suit tomorrow.
even
Yeah.
if I was like, you know what, come on the debate with me, whatever, I don't think he would do it anyway. I mean, he's more than, like I said before, he's more than welcome to take me to court. If he wants to take me to court for slander and defamation, he's more than welcome to. I'll meet him in court. I'll bring my representation and I'll bring my evidence. We'll put it in front of a judge and we'll let the
What?
judge.
What? Are you gonna go to the People's Court? Down.
Hey, Johnny, did you hear
Judge
my
Judy.
live stream tonight? I kind of went against what you reported on, by the way.
That's fine.
But
Look,
I did give you the credit to say that it was your reporting that you brought to light a really good topic, in regards to modern day debate.
right. And here's the thing: I wanted to give. I reached out to James because I wanted to give him every opportunity to say what he had to say, and I looked for people whom had more positive things to say. I just couldn't find any.
I mean, I didn't want to interject myself. I actually support what James does. So I'm of the opinion that if you don't like James, that's fine. Don't sub to him.
Right,
Don't watch
exactly.
his stuff. You're totally cool with that. Like, it's well within your rights. But I just don't like brigading. Because in the message I sent you, I kind of said that if I was to speak out, I would feel like I was being slightly hypocritical because I bring on detestable people. And I don't want people to think that.
But here's the thing. Here's the only difference, right? Well, not the only difference, but here's the biggest difference. Like when you or Fight the Flat Earth bring on somebody, right? The expectation is that it's there because you're pointing out that they're stupid. You know what I mean? Like when you have a Flat Earth debater, you can't tell me that you brought Flat Earth Aussie Jesus on the channel to have an actual intellectual discussion with him.
No, okay, so when
Right.
you say when you brought on, yeah, I agree with you. When you bring on Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, like I have done it before, and I can't guarantee you how long I'm going to be on tonight. Obviously, I'm fairly faded, and I actually want to go to bed. I only jumped on because I saw my friend on, and I want to support. And that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to argue. So,
Oh no,
if
definitely
we
not.
need to
Definitely
move
not
on
trying to
from a
argue.
topic, by all means, stop me.
No, not at all.
But here's the thing, like if I bring on Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, and if I'm being honest with everybody, and I've had a few drinks, so I'm gonna be honest. I'm not bringing him on to discuss shape of the earth.
Right.
I'm bringing him on because he's a detestable individual, and it would garner views. It's going to garner reaction from the chat, and it's going to garner super chats. So I do the same thing that everybody's accusing James of doing, and I'm not the only one. I'm just the
But-
only one that admits that I do what James does.
Sure. But James purports his channel to be a fair and balanced platform.
Okay,
And
but
there are
okay,
people
okay,
there are
okay.
people who are
Let me
calling
ask you
out.
a question.
Well, hang on a second. There
So
are people
when you
who are
say
calling
fair
out.
and balanced, what does that mean? What does fair and balanced mean?
That's a fair
you.
question. That's a fair question. So what does fair and balanced mean? I don't think that having a fair and balanced platform would necessarily kick somebody for questioning the validity of your moderator or the bias of your moderator. I don't think you should kick somebody for that. Simply for saying, hey, I don't think this moderator is going to be the best because this person is, the bias of this person is just, it's too extreme.
But fair and balanced means that they treat one the same as they treat the other. Yeah,
Absolutely, sure.
When
And,
it comes to moderation, I mean, he does this. He does that. He treats
Well, he
the
just doesn't
globe
moderate.
earther as just as fair and balanced as he treats the flat earther.
sure. And look, I'm not saying that what James does. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't boycott James. You make up whatever you want to support James. That's totally on you. You don't want to, and I'm not talking about you team specifically. I mean you in general, right?
You're talking about the listener,
Right.
The listener.
It's completely up to you. I caught something that intrigued me. That's something that I definitely have my thoughts about the situation, and I let him out just a little bit in that report. But again, I want to make sure that I represent the both positions fairly in this. Which is why, again, I reached out to James to, hey, look, I got this. I even told him in email, said, look, I got this story coming out. But I don't want it to seem like it's a hit piece. I want to give you your opportunity to say whatever it is you want to say. And then he's like, I'm just too busy for it, blah, blah. And that's fine. I get it. Cool, you're too busy. I understand. You're a busy person. I respect that. So it's going to seem a little one-sided because all the sources that I had were, anti-modern day debate.
Yeah.
And
But I wasn't, right? Was my response not a non-anti? I'm not going to say I'm pro-anti or pro-modern day debate, but you could definitely tell that I was not, in my response to you, I was not anti-modern day debate, correct?
Right. And the only reason why that I didn't include yours is because of the content of your comment.
Yeah.
I read your comments, say, hey, look, I don't know if I want to put this out. And you kind of just laughed it off. Like, I was like, cool, that's definitely not something that I want to, because, because of the content of your comment, I didn't want to start any bullshit. So,
Right. And it could be taken the wrong way. But,
Right.
and I reiterated that tonight because I feel like it's a valid content or valid point. Like, I'm not against Fight and MC Tune here. I am roping myself into the same ring that they're in, like I consider myself, like when I bring on somebody to debate, I'm not bringing on just some random person to come in and have a legitimate conversation about the shape of the earth. I'm bringing them in because I want to have that dumpster fire.
Right.
I'm about to go off on them, and I think that the people out there love the dumpster fires, which I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with the loving of the dumpster fire. The only thing I'm not okay with is, and I don't think that you push this. Like, for me, you did your job as being somebody who is reporting on a topic that's actually being talked about. So you're not in the wrong, but I wanted to make sure that, like, when brigading starts within a community, right? there's something called like intersectionality, right?
Mhm.
So we all belong to this community, and they begin brigading to everybody outside of the community. Well, what happens when I fall outside of the community? Do you then brigade against me? What happens if Fight falls out of the community? Do you begin to brigade against him? And that's the way. I just don't want to see that happen in this community, because I don't think what James does is any different than what I do, any different than what MC Toon does when he brings on people to debate,
Mhm.
any different than what Fight does when he brings on people to debate. And I think that with us three that I just named, I believe that there is, there's a responsibility to stand up against the community doing things like this. Because the moment that they forget about James, they're gonna look for somebody else.
And yeah, so
and
that
I'm
is
sorry, but Fight's whole channel is pretty much built, like 90% of his channel is pretty much built off of the debates. So
Well, but
how is
again,
what Fight does any different than what James does?
the
And
only
if you're not prepared to boycott Fight, then why would you be in a position to boycott James?
that's extremely valid. But again, the only thing that I will say that separates what you, MC Toon, Fights Flat Earth do from what modern day debate does is that you guys make there's no confusion, right? Like the Fights Flat Earth, he's got a dumpster fire emoji. You know what I mean? So
No,
do
I
you.
understand.
So you know what I mean? It's like
But-
you guys are there's not this illusion of it being a debate. It's a
So-
dumpster fire.
so-
you know what I mean?
so
No,
AJ
hang on a second. So that's
Okay.
where some of the people that when I've talked to them, that's where the criticism comes in. So you don't
Right.
it doesn't they don't see it as they see it as it's bait and switch, right? Oh well, we're gonna sit down and have a debate, but now we've got we have Nathan Thompson versus Science Side Up, and Nathan Thompson's acting like a complete ass towards I can't remember, was it Maddie
Maddie. Yeah.
against
Wonderful person.
yeah, she's a wonderful person, and she put up with a lot. And then at the end of that, James didn't have to say anything about all the people talking about, don't platform Nathan, don't platform Nathan. He didn't have to say anything. But he chose to address everybody, and instead of saying, hey, look, I understand your concerns, this is how you can reach out, we can talk about it, this, that, and the other. He was kind of snarky and kind of shitty about it. And look, he's entitled to his reaction, absolutely. It's just the way that he addressed the audience. And people have spoken out about that. They say, "Hey, that's not cool." We're the ones that are super chatting. We're the ones that are viewing the debates. We're the ones that are basically, we're the ones that are generating the revenue stream, as little as it may be or as much as it may be from the YouTube stuff. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that kind of when people, like Fohammer 335 for $2 says I was a random person you brought in team. I guess he's talking about one of the debates. With Vlad, if I remember correctly, but people super chatting because they want to hear their name. They want to hear their name. They want to hear their comments spoken, and people have been frustrated with James not reading out super chats. And you've mentioned that to James before.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Like I wouldn't be if I was watching the show. Like, okay, here's one thing: when you watch Fight's show, right? 90% of the super chats are anti-flat earth super chats. So if you have a flat earther, if he has a flat earther on with debate, then 90% of the super chats that come in are simply degrading to the flat earther, and
Sure.
Fight reads them all. So I can respect that. Like you should definitely read all of the super chats. I always try to read all of my super chats, even if they're negative against me or one of my guests, and even if the guest is somebody that I support. So I will still read it because they gave me the respect of giving me their hard-earned money for an opportunity to have the super chat read out and their name being read out. So I'll do that. And James doesn't. So one thing that I would say is that if you held the position that I'm not going to super chat anymore because of this reason, I could definitely get behind that. But when people say, and I'm not saying that you said this,
No, for sure.
but this is something that's a rhetoric that I've heard before your video that I can't, that we should get together and boycott modern day debate. Well, if you're going to boycott modern day debate, make your reasoning known, because if I if I commit the same infractions that you're prepared to boycott him about, then boycott me. If Fight does the same thing, if he's committing the same infractions that you're boycotting James for, then boycott him. Same thing with MC Toon, and I love both of those guys, all three of them. Right? I love me more than all of them, obviously, but I'm modest, super modest,
Super modest, the most modest of the modest.
the most modestest of them all. Correct.
Exactly.
But I just don't want to see hypocrisy,
And I agree.
I call
Right?
hypocrisy out.
Yeah, I agree that we need to. Honestly, I think boycotting James. If you don't want to watch his stuff, just don't watch his stuff anymore.
Just don't watch his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
mean-
watch it. I watch it when it involves something that seems to be interesting to me. I'll watch it then, but I don't watch it every night. But
Right.
if what he was doing was wrong, if what he was doing was fucked up and taking advantage of people, I think it would be reflected in his like to dislike ratio, as well as his new subscribers per day rate or per day count. So the fact that he continuously grows works for him as a content creator. It would be stupid for him to abandon that way of thinking. Yeah, he's not
there-
making me satisfied. He's not
Sure.
satisfying Fight the Flat Earth or you or JL or a lot of the people in the chat, but it's working for him. And if it's working for him as a content creator, he should continue to push that. If he's going after
Right.
his PhD, which several people have said, then he needs the money. You know,
Yeah,
that's
for
not
certain.
something easy to do.
No, absolutely not. It's very expensive, and I just think that if he's going to open himself up to suggestion or to, because one of his criticisms was, hey, instead of trying to do the manipulation thing, why can't you just have a conversation with me about it? And I can say honestly that I attempted several times to have that conversation with him, and it's been ignored. And I hear that's a lot of people have had that issue where they've said, hey, criticism, here's some constructive criticism, and it just gets ignored. So, and instead of saying,
Oh, he ignored mine. He outright ignored what I said. And it made me hard. It made it hard for me to say, I'm going to keep coming back. And you know what? Ever since all that happened, I haven't been back. He hadn't even bothered inviting me back, which is fine. Like, I don't judge James for that. I don't support the channel. I don't super chat. I'm not a Patreon to his channel. So at most, I'm a viewer. But I don't want to see this type of thinking become prevalent within our community, because we all make that same choice.
right.
I'm telling you something, man. And Johnny, you couldn't deny this, right? If you were given the opportunity to bring on somebody who is detestable, that would bring you large amounts of viewers, even if it meant that you're bringing him on to refute his position, not to support his position, but to refute it. If you had that opportunity, you'd take it, just like I would. Just like
I've
any
done it.
YouTuber
I
would.
have done it. I have done it. I brought Nathan Thompson on.
I have too.
I
I
can't
have too.
stand the guy, but
Multiple times.
right. Oh, really quick, Irish Demon for $2 $2.99 Aussie says, I'm drunk at the vet's office. Thanks, team. God's Auditor for $2 says, what would it take to actually get kicked off of modern day debate? And that's a good question. I will give credit where credit's due that James does seem to be trying to moderate at least a little bit more, and he's also trying to keep the nastiness in the chat to a minimum.
Yeah.
So I
So,
will.
no,
like I said,
he could be a better moderator for sure, and he needs to read out all the super chats. Like, I'm sorry, even if you want to wait until both of them are gone, or the people that want to leave are gone, you need to read out super chats. That's just common.
It's courtesy. It's courteous.
Not even. I want to say courtesy, because that makes us feel like we have to be courteous, and that's not the way I want to look at it. It's just common practice, It's common for a YouTuber to read out the super chats when they come in. It doesn't have to be at the beginning. In fact, you know what a lot of people do, and I've learned this from my son. A lot of people, when they do their live streams, they save the super chats until the end. They read them out, and then they cut that portion of their video when they put it out as a final copy. They cut off the portion where they read all the super chats, because they don't want to alienate the people that are are not in a position to be able to do that, and neither do I. But I just think that groupthink is you need to think on your own. Okay. Don't allow me to sway your opinion about something. Should I sway your opinion about something, be sure that it's because of the facts that I present. And you're not saying I hold that opinion because you hold that opinion. Because if we don't stop it there, then what will end up happening is once the mob is done with James, they'll be on to Team Skeptic. And once they're done with Team Skeptic, they'll be on to Fight the Flat Earth. And once Fight's done, they'll be on to fucking MC Toon. And once MC Toon done, they're going to be on to you. And that's not good for any of us. Like, we definitely need to stay away from that type of thought process.
Sure. And I hope that the story that I put out didn't fuel that fire, because that's not necessarily.
No, you were fair. You were fair. I'll give it to you. You were fair. You were reporting, and that's your job.
What I would like to do is start the conversation. It's one thing to, the whole cancel culture. I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like cancel culture. I think it's the stupidest thing that we can get together to do. I mean, some people kind of do need to be canceled, but whatever. That shit generally works itself out in the long run anyway.
Okay, so this is what I want to point out. Like, not too long ago, okay, I was in a live stream on Fight's channel, and Austin Whitsitt got on. And he started spouting some fucked up shit about trans people and gay people. And I was like, I'm not having this shit.
Right.
I'm not bringing this guy back on, because this is his way of communicating. The idea he wants to push to people is very transphobic and homophobic, and I'm not down for that. So I won't have him on my channel, right? For that reason, I won't platform him. I don't want to platform Nathan either. I've platformed him recently because I wanted to get his side of that particular story. Last night on Toon's channel, I sent him an invite. He starts to strip like he's about to get naked, and I just fucking deleted him. Like, I didn't even give him that opportunity.
Wow.
Right? Brought it back to me and Toon. So I can understand the platforming of detestable people, but I do it. Fight does it. Toon does it. Like, what's the difference between us and James? Are you serious? The only difference between us and James is that we read super chats out and he doesn't?
No.
If you think that any one of us moderates, that's completely incorrect. Have you ever seen one of my debates on my channel? There's no moderation. Look at Philip. I fucking talked over him nonstop, insulted him, booted him on my own because it was my channel. Look at Fight. Fight talks over the people he says. He insults them, boots them when they say stupid shit. That's his channel. Same thing with MC Toon. Doesn't allow certain things. We all have our own rules that we have for our channel, and those are just James's rules. If you don't agree with James, I understand not wanting to watch him or unsubbing, and I'll agree with that. But as a community, that doesn't mean we should try to convince other people who don't feel the same way that we do that this is the right way of doing things. Because while we all disagree with it, that's fine. Don't super chat him. If you don't think he's going to read your, making fun of Nathan living out of his car super chat, then don't super chat him. That's as simple as it gets. But there is no, but the only reason that people come to watch me debate flat earthers is not to see that the earth is not flat. Fucking kidding me? When was the last time I proved that the earth wasn't flat? They come to see me talk to an idiot and prove that an idiot is wrong. And that's the only reason. It's a dumpster fire. It's the only reason they watch Fight.
Right. No. I absolutely understand. Right. So, right. And I get all that. I get that. It's, again, the differences would be the fact that, we've got when you put yourself out as this, hey, I'm a modern day debate. It's a debate channel. This, you know what I mean? It's like when you go to IHOP and order a steak, you kind of know what you're getting, right? But when you go to Del Frisco's Double Eagle Steakhouse and they bring you out an IHOP style steak, you're going to be pissed off.
Oh yeah.
And sure. I'm not saying that you're IHOP steak at all.
Oh no. You were talking about Fight there. I know.
I was talking about Fight Flutters, yeah.
We love you, Fight. We're just kidding.
Yeah. He's asleep. We can talk about him all we want.
Yeah, now that is a good point. And I want to reiterate this, what God Dodger says. I don't view what you and FTFE do as a debate. James bills his stuff as a debate. Okay, so the last, and I'm okay with that, God's Auditor, but my last thumbnail on the top of it said debate, God versus science.
Right.
Fight's Monday night show is called Monday Night Debates. There is no Monday night conversation, Monday night fights. It's Monday night debate.
But
I don't moderate mine. He doesn't moderate his.
He gets in
MC
there
Tune.
and says, "Hey, dumpster fire ensue. Get ready for the dumpster fire." So it's not like
he does.
You know what I mean? And again, I'm not knocking what you or Fight or anybody else does. You know what I mean? That's you don't. That's the entertainment value, right? That's the entertainment value of what you guys do.
Wow. Robert Caslow says I'm Waffle House steak. Dumb Jezza says I'm McDonald's steak.
I think you're more like vegan
homeless
steak
out there.
Vegan
steak.
Jeez.
Damn
vegan
right.
Steak made of kumquat.
AKA a mushroom. How's everybody?
I always thought he was
What
kind
up,
of
Demon?
I always thought he was kind of like convenience store Salisbury steak.
Ooh.
Oh, hey.
Shit.
Guaranteed
I have
shits.
no problem saying that I'm about 40% of what's the Salisbury steak microwavable meal. I'm about 40% of that because
The
I
Hungry
eat that
Man.
probably 3 times a day.
The Hungry Man? How can you feed a hungry
No,
man?
I'm not
terrific.
rich enough to afford Hungry Man.
He's not even hungry, man. He's like
I'm not Hungry Man. Yeah, I'm Skinny Man.
he's like fucking
skinny man
lean
Salisbury.
he's lean cuisine Salisbury steak.
Yep.
I've only got
fucked
I've only
up.
got just a couple of minutes here before I gotta go again. But I just wanted to jump in really quickly because I know myself and team were meant to talk about this earlier, but we got drunk, so it never happened. But just with the whole modern day debates thing, just to give my 2 cents on it. So the other day, I did a video about it or a live stream. I can't remember which, but and somebody in the chat said, "Oh, so you want to cancel modern day debates for bringing on Nathan Thompson, but when you and JL and Johnny O and everybody engages with him, that's perfectly fine." I was like, no, if you actually watch the video or the live stream, you'll see what I'm about to actually say, which was that I think this Facebook group asking for the, boycott of modern debates is just honestly just kind of silly. The reality is this, right? He is a YouTuber. He's not, some government organization. He's not a professional debate platform. But we all come to expect a certain thing, which is that it's going to be properly moderated debates. If you're not getting what you want from that channel, leave it. Don't watch it. That's your choice as an individual. If you want to go and watch a dumpster fire, watch a dumpster fire.
Do you not expect when Fight says that he's having a modern day or a Monday night debate, Flat Earth versus Globe Earth, do you not expect some kind of moderation there?
No.
So in that respect, not really, because I, as a subscriber of FTFE, I know what to expect, and that's why I watch those videos for the dumpster fire. That's just me in that respect. Modern day debate's a bit different in that it is presented as an actual debate platform, in that he doesn't make creative content. He doesn't try to, fight the flat earth or other, anti-science type stuff. He's literally there to give 2 people or teams a chance to debate each other. And that's what you go there for. If it happens to be a dumpster fire and you don't like a dumpster fire, or you don't like who's being put on the stage, or you don't like how it's being moderated, don't watch it. It's really simple. The reality is the 4 of us and others in the community have a decently sized platform. People respect what we say. A lot of people will follow us if we say, go do this. They'll, people tend to do it because they, see us as, I guess, people that they like to watch and that they respect the opinions of. And so if we were to come out and say, we all need to, boycott MDD, we would be doing a disservice to the community at large, because some people just don't know who MDD is. Some people don't watch it. And I think that it would just be unfair to do that. I think deplatforming, or you can personally boycott it. It's cancel culture.
Yeah.
And cancel culture, in my opinion, is dog shit. I hate cancel culture. Like I mentioned on my show, and I'm not a fan of this guy, Steven Crowder. He was demonetized and I think blocked for a week from posting or something. I'm not sure of the details of it. That's cancel culture. If you don't like what he says, don't watch what he says. It's as simple as that.
And I can,
there is a line.
Support that. I can 100% support
Yeah,
that. And that's why
absolutely.
like my whole rhetoric tonight was not that I support James in Modern Day Debate because anybody can scroll through James's previous live streams. I've maybe been a chat responder in 5 out of the last 20 videos he's done. All of them have been flat Earth that I interjected myself on, and not once did I super chat. So
Yeah,
and I'm
me
not a
either.
patron either. So by many standards, I don't support the channel. I'm simply there for
Yeah.
the only support I give him is my my YouTube premium AdSense that he'll get, which is less than a penny for the entire debate that I watch. So that's not like the one thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see the start of an avalanche that starts with Modern Day Debate
Absolutely.
and rolls down
Right,
onto
right.
Fight the Flat Earth,
'Cause
and
that's
then
what
follows down
happens.
onto MC Toon, and then follows on
Look,
down onto me.
If you look at it, I hate to bring it to politics because I think we've all had a gut full of politics. But if you look at the political spectrum, it's the exact same scenario. If you're just to take YouTube as an example, forget about Twitter and other platforms because their rules change with the tides. But YouTube has been fairly consistent in its banning of people over the past few years. Now, regardless of where you are on the Overton window politically, we can all agree that this happens, whether you agree with somebody or completely disagree with them. On YouTube, they started with the extremely far right, the overtly racist far right. They got rid of them. I think everybody applauded that because, nobody wants that kind of shit on a platform that kids have access to and stuff like that.
We don't
they
need
moved
Nazis
for-
on the program.
Right.
No, we don't. And nobody wants that shit. Like legitimate Nazis, legitimate white supremacists, guys with swastika
all-right
tattoos.
people.
Not somebody who's slightly to the right of fucking Bernie Sanders and gets called a Nazi because of that. I'm talking
Which is what
actual
happens to me.
skinhead. It's what happens to me too. I get it all the time. I've had it on my own show where somebody's like, "You're just a fucking Trump supporting neo-Nazi." I'm like, dude, fuck off. But anyway. So they came for those guys first.
The David Dukes out there. And
Exactly.
Yeah, get rid of
those guys, I think everybody can agree. We need to get rid of pieces of shit like that from platforms. Leave them go and start their own website. That's fine. Then they came for the alt-right personalities, the more extreme people on the alt-right spectrum, such as Gavin McInnes. Now, he claims he's not alt-right, but who be fucking kidding here? Milo Yiannopoulos, again, says, the alt-right hate me because I'm gay. No, Milo, look, maybe they do, but your talking points are very alt-right. Everybody can agree.
Right.
So they came for those guys next. Now they're going for just regular conservatives, your Stephen Crowders. They got rid of Alex Jones ages ago. They're going for the regular conservatives. Then they start going for the kind of more right-wing centrists, such as Tim Pool, the Quartering, all those kind of guys. So we're going to see Salty Cracker is going to get nuked soon because some of the stuff he said is too spicy. Crowder is going to have problems. There's no question about it. They're going to come for the Quartering. They're going to come for Tim Pool. Anybody that has any level of dissent against the set narrative is going to get nuked. And that goes on both sides. It's the exact same on the extreme left. I don't really know anybody on the extreme left, but a lot of extreme left people have been nuked from Twitter, from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Well,
so it goes both ways, but it is definitely more against the right, to be fair.
There's
Real
a
quick,
comment,
hang on, real quick. Commander
Go ahead.
Darklight for $7.99 Aussie says, at JL, did you try the Tim Tams yet?
Oh, they're amazing.
No, my wife has them.
Oh,
So
They're so fucking good.
You loser.
And
I gave them to you, and you didn't even try them. Wow.
No. They're not all gone, but my wife still has them. So I've yet to get my hand close enough because I might pull back a
I
stump.
might pull back and
So here's what. This comment comes from Salvatore Ippolito in the chat, and he says modern day debates have had that kind of people on, though, and that's correct. Conspiracy Castle's one of those exact types of people that Irish Demon is talking about. But let's not forget, Salvatore, if we're going to be consistent, right? I've had those types of people on my channel to debate. Fight's had them on his channel to debate. MC Toon has had them on his channel to debate. Why are you choosing to select MDD, Modern Day Debate, as the one person that you're going to hold that against? Why not hold that against me? Why not hold it against Fight?
Again,
Why not hold it
I
against
think it's
MC?
because of the type of I think it's because what James purports MDD to be, the platform that he purports to be. I think James's problem is that he's put out this image of a debate channel, And when people, I mean, when you look at, all right, again, in politics, take presidential debates, for instance. They get a little dumpster fiery every now and again, but there's a moderation. You know, when you talk about he puts out like, I've got this formal debate channel, and there is an expectation that comes with that, right? When we're talking about MC Toon and Team Skeptic and Fight the Flat Earth debates, well, we there's an expectation there too that these are going to devolve into dumpster fires, because the people that are coming on are characters who believe the Earth is fucking flat. So
why not make the assumption that modern day debates is going to do the same thing? Why not group him in with me and Fight and MC Toon instead of holding him to a higher standard?
I think.
Well, hang on a second. I think the argument came along if it's still on Nathan Thompson, why the issue was predominantly with Nathan Thompson, because the issue was that Nathan Thompson, despite his behavior, nobody gave a shit about what he was or the fact that he was a mod or anything of that nature until he got arrested for specific actions, for the things that he did.
Right.
When he was going after kids.
Right.
Exactly. When he was doing that shit and he got arrested for it, now has, a record for it and everything. And then all of a sudden he's a mod, he does this, and then people started going, wait, hang on a sec. So Nathan does this, he can hold whatever views he wants, but the minute he starts like going out and committing crimes, espousing his beliefs and shit and getting arrested for it, and
but he didn't get arrested for that. He got arrested for trespassing.
Oh, there you go. But still, his irrational beliefs lead to irrational behavior. When someone starts engaging in crazy shit, if someone, if you want to have someone who wants to talk about Pizzagate, have someone who talks about Pizzagate, but don't platform the dude that brought an AR-15 into friggin' Pizza Planet looking for a basement that didn't exist.
No,
so
I agree.
There's a line, and so we drew that line on Nathan Thompson that not only should he not be platformed because he's unstable, he definitely shouldn't be a mod. So
well, then why are we okay with platforming people like Wits It Gets It? Why is it okay to platform Wits It Gets It on my channel or on Fight's channel, but it's not okay to platform Nathan Thompson on Modern Day Debate? I still have not had an exact answer from anybody that I've asked this question to.
Well, I've given you an exact answer. Hang on a second. Go ahead, JL. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
In my opinion, Austin hasn't crossed that line where he's legitimately.
Did you not hear him on Fights?
No,
did you not hear him on Fights with his transphobic and homophobic?
No, not his
rhetoric?
mouth. Not his mouth. He has not legitimately gone out and put people in harm's way.
So do we have to wait for that before we determine whether they're a good person or a bad person?
It's a just system. Okay, the price we pay for our freedom is vigilance. That's the reality of it. So once you cross a certain line, then certain things must be done. But we can't just arbitrarily decide that, you could do this, so we got to shut you down. But the minute Austin goes out there and puts people in harm's way, or makes people uncomfortable, or threaten or scares children, then we can say, okay, look, dude, your irrational beliefs are one thing, but your irrational beliefs have led to irrational behavior, which is endangering people and also endangering yourself. And so, no, we're not going to give you a platform here, because what you do, you go out there and do things, and we're not going to support a person who goes out there and just blatantly breaks the law because they think they can do whatever the fuck they want. And so there's got to be a line. That's the line for me. But
he's already shown, though. While I don't agree with his arrest, Austin's already shown that he has a blatant disregard for the law. Obviously, it was illegal to possess marijuana in the state of Florida, and he chose to possess felony amounts of marijuana to begin with. Why are we even considering platforming this guy to have a discussion with him? I would platform him just to put him in his fucking place, And I guess that's the difference between me and Modern Day Debates.
Is possessing marijuana, however much he had, I don't view that as.
Well, we're looking at a subjective
There's a gray area here. It's subjective.
We're looking at subjective viewpoints and not objective viewpoints. It means
I don't find that to be specifically harmful to unless he was selling drugs to fucking kids. And I'm
not trying to defend neither Austin Whitsitt or Nathan Thompson. I'm just saying that anybody who approaches Modern Day Debates and says this is going to be a properly moderated debate is absolutely out of his mind. Just like they'd be absolutely out of his mind to think that a properly moderated debate was going to take place on my channel, like a properly moderated debate would take place on Toon's channel or Fight's channel.
But you've got to see the difference. You have to see the difference in degree there, right? I mean, it's not like your channel is called Team Skeptics Debates.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the debate show featuring Team Skeptic. It's Team Skeptic, and people look at your created content knowing the type of stuff that you make. Same thing with Fight the Flat Earth, same thing with MC Toon, right? And that's kind of what JL was alluding to earlier, is that modern day debates, or I'm not sorry, that's what Irish Demon was alluding to earlier, is modern day debates doesn't do created content. They specifically do debates. And and James purports the channel to be this neutral platform where people can come out and have these discussions or these debates. And when you hear, you know, when that word debate in that context, when that word comes out, there is an expectation. And James has that expectation. I mean, he's put that on himself. He's put that expectation on himself by the way he purports his channel.
I think God's Auditor's comment really hits the nail on the head there. They say the main difference is that the atmosphere cultivated by FTFE and Team Skeptic is that of a rap battle with conspiracy theorists. MDD is a little more than a guy running a channel. So, like, the way I view this whole thing, when you say about holding James to a higher standard, it's not necessarily about holding him to a higher standard. It's just that the expectations set by the channel is different.
It's holding him to the standard that he's put on himself. It's holding him to the standard that he put on himself. Just
exactly.
Like so it's how he markets it.
And let me be clear about
that's
something
right.
too. When you said Irish Demon, see, I've never really talked to you about this. This is the first time we're having this type of conversation. But when you said you were personally going to be boycotting modern day debates, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you making your personal choice to support or not support who you want to. The only thing I don't want to see happen is I don't want to see a community of people fall in line with a specific idea because someone who is a leader of this community, and you are a leader of this community, when someone like you says something like that, everybody just goes, let's all group together and boycott modern day debate, because James is not a bad person.
No, not at all. I was very careful about what I said. There was a very clear reason why I said what I said and how I said it. So how it all came up for me had nothing to do with him platforming Nathan Thompson. It had nothing to do with that whatsoever. How it came up for me was that Nathan Thompson said, debate me on modern day debates this Friday, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, dude, I'm not going on modern day debates because I'm not going to go on a platform that allows you to just gish gallop and run all over me. I'm not going to do that.
James doesn't moderate. James doesn't
not moderate.
I'll support you in that. I'll support you in your decision.
I will watch
There's also his
attitude
attitude toward like how he's reacted to people.
Exactly.
Like,
I think that's a part of it.
How James has come at people, especially people who were subbed or people who were members, and the shit that he has said in kind of his butthurt way. That kind of belies what that belies his front. Exactly.
Sure. So when I said it on my video, I said, look, here's the thing. Not that I'm boycotting them, but that I will not take part in a debate on that channel if it's not going to be moderated properly. And based on everything I've seen, it is simply not going to be moderated properly. Now,
and I would agree with you on that. That's the reason
I would happily debate Nathan Thompson on your channel, FTFE's channel, or even on a Flat Earther channel where I know it's going to descend into chaos because that's what's expected. What I don't want to happen is people to go there, expect me to be a representative of our community and go on a channel that's supposed to be an actual debate channel and be walked all over and made look like an idiot. It's not going to happen. I made that clear to Nathan. So it's got nothing to do with modern day debates and how they run their channel that's stopping me going on. It's just the fact that I know that for me, that's not going to work because it's not going to be moderated properly. And I made it really clear in my video. I said to people, look, this isn't me telling you to boycott modern day debates. You watch whatever you want. I still will watch modern day debates. Right. Absolutely. If there's something funny or interesting, I just won't take part in a debate because I'm not going to go on there onto a channel that purports to be a proper debate channel and be made look like an idiot for essentially having an argument with a fool. But I will have that argument with a fool on another channel that's not meant to be a proper debate channel. Now, so it's like turning up to a Formula One race in a Ford Fiesta. You're going to look like an idiot. But if you rock up to a banger race in a Ford Fiesta, then it makes sense. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Heat Shield said if Team Skeptic was debating and I said Team Skeptic sucks, I would expect to get timed out over there. I wouldn't want you to get timed out heat shield, but that's the way, unfortunately, they run their channel. That's why I say if you choose to
I'll be
support
right
or
back.
not support, I would 100% be understandable. You have a reason at that point to say, I'm not going to support. And this is why, because if I said Team Skeptic sucks, even in a playful manner, they would just delete me, but they allow Nathan to do what he does.
Right.
And then that's followed up by God's Auditor saying, Skeptic in the plot hole, look at it like this. The only reason Nathan will go on Modern Days Debates is it's because it's a neutral platform where he can just steamroll over people and disrespect anyone, including the mod. But so can I. So by definition, it is neutral. It's not like he's giving Nathan a power that he's not giving me or giving any other debater that goes on.
And
I've
again,
gone on to his show and criticized him live on his show for the way he handles his moderation. And he still had me on. He gave me the opportunity, but guess who didn't steamroll me? Nathan didn't, because I steamrolled him. Like I said, me, Fight, Tune, not so much Tune, but definitely me and Fight. We steamroll our opponents. We bring them on, and then we talk over them. We insult them. We do everything that we're getting upset at James letting happen. We do that. Now, whether you say, oh, because he has Modern Day Debates in his name, or he claims to be a debate channel. If you haven't gotten through your head yet that he's not going to moderate, and you haven't made that choice to not support him because of that reason, then you're just delusional, because he's not going to moderate. He's not going to stop. He's not going to stop Nathan from brigading or from steamrolling over people. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
So don't expect it to happen.
Well, but again, that's part of the frustration, right? Is that people are reaching out. They're trying to do it the way that James says he wants it to be done, and he's just ignoring them. So people are getting frustrated. I understand that, hey, I don't want you guys to hate my channel, or I don't want you guys to do what I consider to be snake in the grass type things. And that's a direct quote from James. But make yourself, if you're gonna say that, at least make yourself somewhat available, or address it in a way that doesn't make you look like a complete asshole.
Or how about it's something simple as like, hey, dude, Nathan's currently in jail. He's been arrested for accosting children and doing his shit. I mean, is this really the kind of platform? Do we really want to platform? Do you really want to platform this kind of guy? Because that sends kind of a bet. That says this. I mean, that's the choice. That's the individual. That's the choice of the individual. It really is.
Right, but the idea of platforming somebody is to say that that you're giving them a place to spew that nasty speech that they spew, or that nasty acts that they do. That's not going on MDD, just like it's not going on Fights, and just like it won't happen on mine.
Yeah. Well, there's the thing. There's the rub of it, is that Austin Whitsitt comes on your channel. He spews his bullshit, blah 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 blah. That is I'm going to choose my words very carefully here. That is a tacit acceptance of his position, because you're opening up the channel in order for him to say the things that he says. Now, you yourself, as a person who controls the channel, you can say that his comments do not represent you. Obviously, we know that he does not speak for you, but he can speak his mind. But there is a tacit, I would say, what's the word for it?
Kind of an acceptance of their position.
Yeah, acceptance is the only word acceptance of what they do. Okay. When that person then goes out, breaks the law, gets arrested, develops a reputation, chases kids around, puts people in harm's way, puts himself in harm's way, and does it willingly. Like the guy who says, "Oh, I'm going to put on a fake security, shirt or a fake security jacket, and I'm going to hang outside of places so I can, you use my spy glasses and then ambush people."
Yeah, that's bullshit. It's bullshit.
That's dangerous shit. That's dangerous shit. And when you give that person a platform, you are in essence telling that individual that your shit is justified.
Okay, so recently I reached out to
Hang on,
Peggy
really
Hall
quick. I want to hear what you say. But Road No Last Name for $5 says, "Can we go back to bagging on Darth Dawkins? Mommy and Daddy are fighting."
Hey, I'm drunk. I'm about to get off, and I'm not fighting. I actually I just want to make sure that something that we don't encourage, something that's going to come back to bite each individual creator one at a time in the
Right.
ass,
And here's the
starting
thing.
with modern day debate.
Right. So the reason for the story is to highlight an issue in the community. It's not to sway people one way or the next. I would hope that James would watch that, respond to the emails that I've sent him, and present, his. I genuinely would like to get a one-on-one with him and hear his rebuttals or hear his position. Give him a platform, because I don't like one-sided stories. They're dishonest.
Yeah.
Well,
And I don't think that anybody should go, and I don't think that anybody should, say, oh, I'm not going to, just because that I say something, or JL or Irish or whoever, I don't give a fuck who it is. Tom Cruise comes in and says, the modern day debate sucks. Don't subscribe. Don't listen to Tom Cruise. Go watch modern day debate for yourself. And if it's something you want to check out, check it out, stay there. If not, then don't.
for
I
sure.
mean, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I hope that I can drive people to make your own decision.
and as
agree
friends
100%.
that we all are, we should always keep ourselves in check. So
Sure.
whenever I get something wrong, I expect one of my friends to be the first ones to reach out to me and go, yo, you're fucking wrong at this. Just like I'm doing now. I'm only not saying that you are wrong or anybody else is wrong, but I want to stop this before it's an avalanche.
We don't want it
Before
to
people
steamroll out
go,
of control.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, look at the poll we had. We did a great job. And then the one person who's popular goes, oh, look who MC Toon had on. Let's boycott MC Toon because it was successful with modern day debates. Now we're boycotting MC Toon. And after that, we'll boycott FTFE. And after that, we'll boycott, Team Skeptic. Like, I don't want that to happen in this community. We need to have this open discourse so that we can prove these bad ideas wrong. There's no way to prove a bad idea wrong if you never allow the bad idea to even be discussed. And I brought this up in my live stream. If we go back and we look at Galileo, he was everything that we're talking about doing to modern day debates, boycotting people, they boycotted Galileo, put him on house arrest, exiled him, whatever you want to call it. He was right in the long run. It was because the open idea of discussion was being censored by a larger body coming in, a larger group of people coming in and saying, we're boycotting your idea. Well, his idea was right. I'm not saying Nathan Thompson and them are right. I'm not even saying modern day debate is right. But what I am saying is we must discuss these ideas and prove that they're wrong, show that they're wrong. That's our responsibility. Your responsibility, Johnny. Your responsibility, JL. Your responsibility, Irish. My responsibility. Our responsibility is not to shut that down before it's ever said. Our responsibility is to stand up when it is said and say, this is wrong, and this is why it's wrong. And without that idea even being put forward, there might be a day when there is no Irish demon around to step up to that bad idea. And because there was nobody in the past, because the idea itself was suppressed, then there's nobody in the past to refer to who stood up against these bad ideas. And that's eventually what we're going to do. We're going to put ourselves in a situation where there are no bad ideas to discuss. And even some of those bad ideas might be good ideas 20 years from now, 100 years from now. Somebody might say, well, look, this one guy had it right the whole time. Why didn't anybody listen to him? Oh, well, modern day debates boycotted him. Oh, everybody boycotted this guy's channel. Nobody wanted to fucking listen to him. No, let's listen to him. Let's hear what he has to say. Let's prove it fucking wrong. You and I and everybody on this panel is smart enough to deal with that in their own field. My field happens to be physics. JL's field happens to be philosophy. Irish's field happens to be eating.
I knew that was coming.
But team, I gotta say, and I agree with the vast majority of what you just said, that these ideas need to be talked about, even whether they're bad or they're good or whatever. People have to be able to make up their own minds. Communication is the key to doing that. But is there a line that has to be drawn when an individual, because by giving someone any kind of platform, you are in essence giving them a justification for the things that they do. So if I do this and I do this, then if for example, and I'm gonna please, I hope that people are totally gonna misconstrue this. When the Catholic Church was bouncing priests around after accusations were coming over what they were doing, the biggest thing about this is that These priests were not getting nailed to the wall for what they were doing. They were being bounced around to different parishes all over the country. Boom, 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 boom. That right there is a silent consent from the actual church for their actions, because they are not being punished. They're simply being moved about.
Well, that's
and so
hang on a
so
second.
while the church may condemn, this is an extreme
It's a false equivalence.
analogy. I don't think it's a false equivalency.
Absolutely, because
priests,
hang on a second there. It's not like James is putting Nathan on a platform just to spew his stuff, and nobody's standing there next to him to oppose him. Right,
No,
so
but
we're
but
putting
when he
interlocutors
engages-
together. Well, hang on a second. We're putting interlocutors together when there's somebody, you've got science side up that's saying, no, Nathan, yes, a Ling Razor gyro can measure the rotation of the Earth. It does it all the time. Or yes, Nathan, there's always wind way up there. You know what I mean?
I get that, but here's the issue: when you don't nail someone to the wall or take away their platform. Okay, so if the priest had been caught and then nailed to the wall, publicly exposed, defrocked and excommunicated, if that had taken place, that would have been a different story. But it didn't.
But that's
moving
what...
them around. Hold on a sec. Hang on. Moving them around to church was a silent consent of their actions, and they continued on and hurt more and more people. When Nathan goes on and goes blah 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 blah, and all I speak is bullshit, and then I go home and or I go to my tent or my whatever, and then that's it. If that were it, that's be it. But when Nathan comes on and goes blah 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 blah, and then he leaves, and then he goes and he stalks a child to his house.
Oh, it's fucked up. Yeah.
That's different. That's different. By giving him a continuing platform, that is a silent
You're encouraging
consent.
more of that.
That's
You're
a silent
encouraging more
consent of
that.
his
Yeah.
behavior. That is where the line must be drawn.
So,
It's like, Austin Witzik can run his mouth all he fucking wants, but the minute he endangers the child, that's it.
I had Nathan Thompson on my channel the other day. Why have you not boycotted me, or why is the community not boycotting me? Because I brought Nathan Thompson in to speak on his experience with Austin Witzik. Why are you guys not boycotting me? Why is the same people who's talking about this not talking about boycotting me and Fight the Flat Earth right now? We both
And
brought
me too.
those
I
guys
had him on as well.
To be fair,
And Johnny had him on.
Yeah, I did. To be fair, I'm not calling for the boycott of anybody.
Me either.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think you are. I think you did a really good job at doing the reporting, we need that. We need that. So I would love to see more of that. I hope that you continue to call people out, and that includes me. Should I make any arguments that are fallacious to that nature? And PhD Tony says, does that not go both ways? Can I not say the bad moderation to let the loudest shouter dominate what they are calling a debate? Well, PhD Tony, listen, that happens on my channel. That happens on Fight's channel. It doesn't happen so much on Toon's channel because Toon doesn't really get loud. But if we're really looking at the people that are similar to modern day debates, it's me and Fight. It happens on both of our channels the same way it happens on modern day debates. Just because he has the word debates in his name, are we saying that we as a community would no longer try to boycott him if he changed his name? Oh, eat that, J.O. If he changed his name from boycott modern day debates to modern day discussions, would that change anything? No, it's still the same show.
Well,
so if you're going in based on the channel name,
but the idea of what he purports his channel to be, that's where people take issue, right? And James, he wants his channel to be this neutral debate platform, and more power to him. If he really wants that, that's cool. He needs to make it happen, though. He needs to make it. Hey, I want this to be an actual debate channel. Cool. Let's set up a moderator. You can host, James. I think James is an excellent host. He's got a really good speaking voice.
Yeah, he's a great host. He's a shitty moderator.
He's
great
a terrible moderator. He's really, when he's in his groove, he's cool with the people, and he's got that, that affable kind of way about him that's, people can kind of get down with. He's a really nice guy. Except when he's being challenged a little bit. Then it turns into kind of a douche face.
And I can agree with that too.
He goes from the, hey, I'm just a goofy guy, to, oh, don't be a crybaby.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
are not me and Fight the Flat Earth the same way?
No, again.
If I see somebody bitching about something that I think is just moaning and bitching about nothing in the chat, I call those people out, even if they're a supporter of my channel.
Yeah, but nobody would ever mistake
Fight
you.
does too.
No one would ever mistake you for a nice guy.
Right. But I will say this. This is something I can agree with the community on. He's not a moderator. I think he needs to give up that. He needs to understand what moderation means. If we can like I'm not here to try to convince you to like James, to like his channel, to subscribe, or even give him a suggestion. I gave him a suggestion, and he outright, just without even considering my suggestion, just said, "Nope, can't do it." And when he told me that, it was on something that had to do with the quality of his of the show that he said that he was having, from the perspective of people like myself, that participate in it. And I said, well, you could do this, and it would take 10 minutes for you to do it, and it would make your show better for me, the person participating in the show. And he was like, no, I don't have enough time. And so at that point, the moment he said that, I made the decision I won't go on that channel anymore, only because it's not to my benefit to be on that channel. But I just feel like, trying to bring the community together for cancel culture is completely the wrong way to do it.
Absolutely don't want to. I hope nobody has misconstrued my report on that as that. I definitely don't want to do that. I'm not trying to bring people together to cancel anybody, because I think cancel culture is terrible. I would like to start the conversation, and if there is a conversation, I would like to put my finger on the pulse of the conversation to find out exactly what's going on, because I think it's important. I think it's important if James isn't, if he's not listening to the individual people as they're saying, hey, maybe he'll listen to the collective of people as they're saying, hey, asshole, listen, this is where we don't get along with
John,
your channel. I'm not saying, hang on a second, I'm not saying that they need to go out to try and cancel. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
if I bring in 10 voices to say, hey, these are some things that we have, some suggestions or some complaints or whatever, and is that going to be as effective as if I bring in 1,000 voices?
No, it won't.
I mean? And again,
And
it's not to cancel. It's not to cancel. It's genuinely, I would like to see James do a better job of moderating, do a better job of. I don't give a fuck who he platforms. If he wants to platform Nathan Thompson because he knows he's going to get views, then that's all fine.
Yep.
Platform Nathan Thompson. Just moderate his ass. As you would moderate anybody else.
Can I just address one quick comment in the chat before, because I've got to head out again, but I think unsurprisingly PhD Tony has hit the nail on the head with how he worded pretty much what I was trying to get across, but he's much better at English wording than I am. He says it's the pretense of neutrality that's objectionable. No one is suggesting that Oakley needs to be fair or the other Flat Earth channels. And likewise with us, nobody's suggesting that Team's channel needs to be fair or Fight's channel needs to be fair, but it's just the fact that people, when they go to MDD, are expecting it to be a fair platform, and that's the difference. If he's not, then he's not, and that's fine. He doesn't need to be held to any different standard.
But is it not fair? He doesn't moderate either side, so is that not him being fair and neutral? I mean,
no, it feels like a bait and switch. Is what it feels like.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm offering this. This is what's proposed. That then you get there and you're like, this is not what I.
I suggest anybody that sees it that way. I suggest anybody that sees it that way begin like boycotting me when I have someone who I don't agree with on.
No,
and
because
boycott Fight the Flat Earth. Hold on, we got to boycott both of our channels right now.
No.
Because we both put debate in our title. No, hold on. We both put debate in our title, and we don't do a debate. That is bait and switch by definition. If you're going to say
there's a difference, though.
There's a difference.
There's a huge difference.
His whole channel is based on
that. Exactly. The whole of your entire channel, Team Skeptic, is not that. Okay, if your entire channel is Team Skeptic, that's the definition of your channel. Whether you're hosting a debate or hosting a dumpster fire or whatever you're doing, that your channel is Team Skeptic. Fight's channel is Fight the Flat Earth. We know where Fight's coming from, regardless if it's a debate or not. We already understand his position just by his name. We know it's going to be your channel. But when it's not, this is not James's house of discussion. Okay, or
I love how
James,
people are saying that I don't get it in the chat. No, I get it because I'm a content creator, so I absolutely fucking get it.
So, but the understanding is of what your channel is.
Hold on, PhD. So Tony says no, that's not being fair. That's him being negligent. He's being negligent to both sides. It is fair. Number one, because I've overtalked my opponent without any moderation over there. So I pulled the Nathan Thompson card out on Modern Day Debates. So when you're saying that, you're just saying that because you don't like flat earthers, because you didn't say that when I did it. I understand that James is a horrible moderator. I can agree with the chat. He's a horrible moderator. If you don't want to support him, don't support him. I don't. So I'm on your side about this. But what I don't want is people to sit there and follow just because someone else who has a voice in this community says don't follow, and they all get behind that.
Right.
That's horrible.
I think that's
I'm follow that. Fight's
Right.
following me. Tune's following fight.
I think that's the sentiment that we can all get behind is if you
other thing,
hang
though-
a
sorry,
second, really quick. If you see what if you hear what we are saying and you think that's something you want to investigate, do that. Investigate it. Check out Modern Day Debates. Check out all these different things and make up your own mind. Make up your own decision. If you want to watch it, watch it. If not, don't. I mean, I don't want to get a bunch of people together and say, hey, let's just go out there and just cancel this person or that person. Mob justice is very rare, very rarely just. So that's, team and I think everybody on this panel have no problem saying, don't get wrapped up in the fervor of people being upset about certain things.
Yes,
It's okay.
I agree with that.
It's okay to be upset, and it's okay to voice your opinion. And I would like to give people as many opportunities to voice their opinions as possible. I would like to facilitate the conversation because I think it is an interesting conversation. It's an important one because there are other people that might be coming up that want to do the Modern Day Debate type channel, have an actual debate type channel. And if you can look and say, hey, look, this is what people are saying about modern day debates. They don't like this aspect or this aspect, but they do like this and they do like this. How can I better make my content or my debate channel, how can I do that to make it better? And,
There's lots of debate channels out there. Ask yourself this: why is James growing the way he is and nobody else is?
Sure. And again, James is doing something right. He's getting people to look. I mean, people like the dumpster fires, right?
It's no different. It's no different than the Coliseum. It's the exact.
Oh, and
same.
Daryl Lim, I think you're missing the point, Daryl Lim. He says, do you think we would just follow without making our own decisions? Yes, I absolutely do believe that there's people in this community that will do that. And that's why I want to put a stop to it now.
Right.
Number one.
It's not everybody.
Then he says, I like all of you, but you have no say in how I live my life, which is, I agree with that, Daryl. That's why I said, if you personally don't like modern day debates and don't want to watch, then don't watch. If you personally don't want to support and super chat to help him out, don't do that. I will 100% back you in your decision to do that because I have personally made that decision myself. But I'm not going to go out there and ask other people to do what I do because of my reasons. Have your own reasons when you make the decision to do that. And that's the one thing I don't want to see happen because I think there's some hypocrisy that does go on with the people that are making these claims. A lot of the people that are making these claims and the reasons they're making these claims, you can go and find other channels that those people support that do the same thing that are in those claims that they're making. And I'm not going to call anybody out. I don't want to. This is not a call out moment for me. I'm not saying this person said this and they're hypocritical because I believe that every person should make their own decision. I don't support them for my own reasons.
That's very interesting. That's a level of responsibility that you're taking upon yourself because, given your position, that James does not take upon himself.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to respond quickly to something Team said earlier. I definitely got what you're saying about the fact that, because he's not moderating, that it is fair because both of you have an opportunity to shout over each other, whatever. But I think it's not so much an issue of fairness. It's more about people don't like the fact that it's a lack of application of the rule as opposed to an application of the rules fairly. So it might be fair because you both have the ability to shout over each other, but I think what people want in a structured debate is they want an application of the rule instead of a lack of application. And I think that's where a lot of people are taking issue with it. And the reality is, if you have somebody who's mild-mannered and, gentle kind of person, I have no problem shouting out Nathan Thompson. I don't think any of you do, but other people may not. So when you have two people up against each other with a fair free-for-all, there's only one person that's going to win, and that's going to be the louder idiot. And that's the way it goes. So I think it's more about that lack of application of a rule as opposed to the application of it. Sorry, the other way around. People want an application of the rule as opposed to a lack of that application.
God's auditor says that we are all in angry agreement with each other.
No, we are. We are
We are not. We are not angry. We're not angry.
I think we can all agree that there's
Fuck you, Team
there's
Skeptic.
something that needs to be fixed for them to we want when it says ice cream on the package, on the label, we expect ice cream.
Right.
So we're holding him to a level of standard because he says modern day debate. He opens up with, I'm a moderator. This is an open and fair platform. Any ideas can come across. And then there's no moderation. And I think that frustrates people a lot because people like Nathan Thompson don't get moderated by James. And that's one thing I can completely agree with. I don't disagree with that assertion or that how that person evaluates the channel. But at the same time, I mean, it still is his channel. He can still do things the way he wants, just like I do the things the way I want, and Johnny does the way he wants. But I can understand that. So I'm not in disagreement with you guys. I just don't want to see the beginning of something that we're all going to regret in the long run. And I think that trying to get the community together to boycott James is a bad move. It's a bad move for all of us that are content creators.
Right.
Yep. 100% agree.
Yep.
If it really is problematic and the community disagrees with it as a whole, we actually don't need to do anything. The problem will rectify itself.
Absolutely.
Non sequitur. So I mean, that's the way it's going to go down, is that the community will ultimately decide. We really don't have to slide either way, one way. There are things that, if it's possible that there are things going on in the background, like for example, Johnny and I were sharing an email from Nathan that it could have been construed that he's being paid to be on that show. Something like that.
Now, if there's double standards like that being held, then there needs to be something like.
But
that's a good reason for a person to make that decision. And if you want to report on that, I agree. That's totally reportable.
I can't say I said implied, like not a hard confirmation, but it was like one could definitely read it that way.
Right.
That was like my first.
Well,
yeah, like, holy shit!
I think he does. I think he does. At the same time, I don't think it's a bad idea when you know you're going to get $500 in super chats to give somebody $100. I don't think that's a bad idea. If I wouldn't do it. If I tell somebody, hey, come on my channel, and they say, and I know that I'm about to get $500 for them coming on my channel, let's say, I know that, and then they say, well, give me $100 and I will. I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to pay somebody to come on my channel for that reason. That's just not worth it to me. I don't care that I'm not losing the $500. I care that I'm not platforming somebody that doesn't deserve to be platformed at the time. I don't think Nathan deserves to be platformed for a debate. He's never shown up with any kind of evidence. He's never provided a model. He's never provided a valid explanation, and he talks over people. That's his thing. So I can understand why people would say, I don't want to watch that. And I would never blame somebody. I would never say you're in the wrong for holding that position. But when the community tries to come together and say everybody should hold this opinion, I don't agree with that.
I absolutely agree with you there.
Right.
Groupthink in any capacity, be it for good or for bad, is a bad thing.
Can potentially be very dangerous.
I mean, there is certain situations where, you know, maybe it's worked out for the better, but in the long run, it never works out, man. Like if you tell people this is what we all think and you should agree with us, otherwise you're this, you're that, you're a Nazi or you're a commie or whatever.
Right.
It just results in people being afraid and people basically voting with fear, and that does no good for fucking anybody.
Right.
But anyway, with that, lads, I love you boys more than anything, but I have got to go.
He's forfeiting his debate with me. You guys see this, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
forfeiting.
got it
Yeah.
on.
Debate with
That's
me.
it.
Got it
Yeah,
on.
he's forfeiting.
Got it on
I'm
record.
forfeiting.
I'm gonna
I
title this. I'm gonna title this "Irish Demon Forfeits."
Irish
Okay,
Demon
Irish Demon
forfeit.
forfeits. You know me, guys. I never want to have the last word.
Two-team skeptic.
Oh, that's true.
have to put
So
the two in it, too.
Rhoda no last name says.
Sorry.
Rhoda no last name says. What do you think about the formats of modern day debate versus a non sequitur show? Now, I didn't get to see the non sequitur show. I kind of joined this community a little bit after all
they would
that
benefit.
stuff happened.
Modern day debate would benefit from hosting debates the way non sequitur show did. And as many people that hate Steve out there, and I can understand how there's people that hate Steve. Steve was an excellent moderator. He would sit there, he would listen to both sides. When one person started talking over the other, he would step in and go, nope, hold on, let him finish, let him answer this question. Even when Steve knew that the information being presented was false, he would still put it on the other person to prove that it was false. Later, Irish Demon, we love you. He would put it on the other person to make sure that they called it out for being false because those two people were in the debate, not Steve. Same thing happened with me the other day. I learned a lot by being on the non sequitur show as often as I was. I learned a lot from that. And that's why whenever, you know, if you ever go back and look at some of the debates that I moderated for Fight, when Fight was debating a flat earther, I would literally step in and go, hold on, Fight, hold on, let him answer. Hold on. You know, it needs, if you're going to moderate, if you're going to proclaim yourself to be a moderator, then you need to moderate and you need to put your bias aside so that you're moderating fairly. When I was moderating AJ versus Philip, I moderated it fairly. I let them have their say. I only stopped them to move the conversation on or to get clarifying questions because like there was a time when AJ wasn't completely understanding what Philip was saying because Philip was making up science on the fly. And so I said, hey, hold on. Explain in details and something that everybody can understand. Explain what you actually mean. You know, it wasn't me taking AJ's side there. It was me doing what was best for the debate. Does James do that? Absolutely not.
So I got a little bit of criticism for the way that I handled that Philip debate. And look, here's the thing. Anybody has any kind of pointers, criticisms, or whatever you want to send them my way, I absolutely read every single one of them. And I take them to heart, and I listen to what you have to say. So please, if there are ways that you think that I can improve, feel free to email me, put it in the comments, find me on Discord, whatever. I absolutely will have a conversation with you, and I will not get offended. I won't get my feelings hurt, none of that shit, because I truly look for ways to better my performance as a moderator in these debates. That being said, I got one criticism that I was allowing JL and Philip to ask loaded questions. And yeah, I'm going to allow that because that's the idea of the debate. It's not my job to call out somebody's bad form or bad logic unless it gets out of hand. Now, if, for instance, when Philip kept asking that circular question to JL and JL had answered it several times over, and then I stepped in and said, look, this has been asked and answered. We need to move on from this. We need to stop this craziness. And then when JL was asking his question and Philip would dodge it, I didn't let JL continue to ask the question either. I said, Philip, there's a question. Can you answer it? If not, we need to move on.
That's my biggest problem with modern day debate. If you want to know the truth, if I'm going to criticize them, and I don't mind criticizing them because, you know, criticism is part of being human as well.
That's how you get better.
My biggest criticism with modern day debate is that he doesn't ensure that the debater answers the question. There is no moderation there. If I say, Nathan, why then does this happen? And he answers with something completely irrelevant like large bodies of water do not curve. Then I expect James to step in and go, Nathan, He didn't ask that question. He asked this question. What's your answer to that? That does not happen. And I can agree with people.
Right.
That's where I will step in and say, you guys are right about this, 100% right. And if you don't want to support him for that reason, then go ahead. But I'm telling you now, we could bring this entire community together and all boycott modern day debate, and it's not going to change how he does things, and it's not going to change how much he grows. So, I just don't want to see this act of what we see as perceived goodness for the community go off and turn around and affect someone like Fight negatively. When Fight doesn't deserve that, I don't deserve that. Toon doesn't deserve that. And we all three of us, platform deplorable people. We don't give them an opportunity to be deplorable, but we do actually platform these deplorable people. So let's not do that. Let's understand that we have the right to not support him individually if that's what we want. And let's not make it a community thing, because the moment we try to make it a community thing, then everybody out there is subject to those same community blacklisting standards that are being set forth today. And I don't want to see that, because Fight doesn't deserve it. I don't deserve it. Toon doesn't deserve it. You don't deserve it. Jail Warren, Irish Demon, Brainy had Philip on. Why did we have that deplorable individual on the other day on Brainy's? I mean, that guy was deplorable. You look at the way he talked to people and the way he intentionally tried to troll my channel just because I wasn't giving him an opportunity to speak science nonsense.
Right.
You know,
By
I mean,
the way,
like, that's
no,
a
but
deplorable. And why are we
to
all
pi- to
deplorable?
piggyback on that? I think you ended it because he hasn't uploaded shit since.
Oh,
Yeah.
he can't talk to me about science.
I think you ended him. I think you completely
Good.
demoralized his ass.
Yeah. Angie Flores for $20 says, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Irish said it best. However, the sensitivity in this world is fucking lunacy. JL's logic, Irish D's kindness, the plot's analytics, and my boy Team Skeps everything. Don't stop, guys. We won't. I appreciate the super chat.
Fucking A.
No, we definitely won't stop.
And then Caliban says it's not the platforming of certain people, it's the non-moderation that James does. Well, again, back to my point. There's non-moderation on my channel when I have them on. There's non-moderation on Toon's channel when he has them on. There's non-moderation on Fight's channel when they have them on. And before you say, but those channels don't say they're debate channels, look at Fight's history. In the past month, he's put out 2 created content videos, and the rest of them have been flat earth debates. I mean, he has his game show, but the rest of them have been flat earth debates. There's no moderation, and those videos, those in particular live streams, are listed as debates. So if you make an excuse for Fight, try to use that same logic towards James and see if you come up with the same conclusion. If you say, oh, well, he says he's a debate channel and he doesn't moderate. Well, Fight says he's a debate channel and Fight doesn't moderate. Or not
No,
a
he
debate
doesn't.
channel, but Fight does debates. I do debates. I don't moderate. Toon does debates. He doesn't moderate. So if we're all being that and you're going to not support modern day debates, then be consistent in your views and don't support me, don't support MC Toon, and don't support Fight the Flat Earth. Now, if you're just going to do that as a personal decision because you don't like the content coming out of the channel, which that is more understandable. I think that's where it's all coming from. I think people are trying to find an excuse for saying why they don't want to support James anymore. Stop looking for an excuse and just don't support him.
Right.
I think that's more respectable right there. I don't need an excuse. My excuse for not supporting James is to say this right here. James, I think he's stuck and he thinks that he is perfectly fine where he's at. I told him from the perspective of a debater that it was not good for me.
I think what James has, he's got a level of success with the channel, and he's busy. He really is a busy person. If he's going after his PhD, he should be, I think I calculated it correctly, he should be in the latter half of his PhD portion, which is extremely busy. And depending on what his PhD is in, he could be doing a lot of writing and a lot of research. That shit is extensive. So he is busy, and he may not want to say, hey, look, I don't, this is just a pet project. This is not what I want to do with my life. And I get it. I respect that. So, you know, I'm again, I don't want people to think that I'm anti-James or anti-modern day debate. You know, it's not something that I want to check out. I don't like how he doesn't moderate.
We're not Antija.
Now, to Fight's credit,
Come
he'll
on,
bring
that was
on
funny.
people
That
that
was-
are
that
both
was
big
funny.
and small, and I don't
was
think
funny.
modern day debates will. I think he looks for the biggest drawers,
Right.
the people that will bring the biggest crowd and the most super chats. And as a content creator, I can understand why. Like, I don't agree with it, but I can understand why. I won't just platform just any old person. If I had somebody that reaches out to me and says, "Hey, I can prove the earth is flat and not round," and I go to the channel and the guy started the channel a day ago, you know, and I'm not going to just platform that guy because there's a good chance that that guy's not there to actually express his true beliefs.
Right.
But and James goes the exact opposite. James, he goes for the biggest person. Fight will get anybody, and that's cool. You know, I'm glad that Fight does that because he's being consistent. You know, whereas a lot of these other channels are not being consistent with, you know, are they there to fight the flat earth? Or yeah, well, I confused myself by saying that. Are they there to fight the flat earth, or are they there to make money? I believe Fight's there to fight the flat earth and makes money doing it. So it is a bit different. Modern day debate says I'm there as a neutral moderator, but if you go back and look, he's really, even though he's not a moderator by definition, he's still neutral. You know, you got people that say, "Oh, well, he supports the biggest shouter." Well, that's not him supporting that guy. He's platformed both individuals, and one individual just happens to be a louder speaker than the other. It's happened when I was on there with me being the culprit, me being the one that's over talking everybody else. I can go back and look at debates. It's how I do my debates. You know, I'm not here to put up with the bullshit, but at the same time, I don't want to see group think happen. That's the only thing I'm here to fight against. I'm here to fight against cancel culture and group think, because these two things will ultimately come back, and one at a time, they'll bite each creator in the ass one at a time. They'll start with me. They'll move to Fight. They'll go to Tune. They'll go to you, Johnny. They'll be on JL's. They'll be on Irish's. And that group think. Then you have to worry about the group that you're the speaker of.
Right.
You know, because I
Right.
even see myself as a speaker of this group. You know, of the group of people that watch my shows, I see myself as that speaker. Irish does too. Fight does too. So I just don't want to see that happen in our community. We are better as individual thinkers. We can critically think about what goes on, and we can make our own decisions. Should you choose not to support modern day debate, come on, let's do it together. I can do that with you. I can do that because I've made that decision myself, and
Right.
if you make that decision yourself, I can respect you making that decision a lot better than if you just say, "Well, I'm not going to watch them because everybody else ain't watching it."
Right. And that's the thing. Make your own decisions. Do your own. If you enjoy it, continue to enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not here trying to sway one person. The only person I'm trying to sway is James into creating a better show. That's the only thing I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
All I
giving
heard from Team was reverse psychology to his cult of personality. That's all I heard.
Really quick, we have a new plot hole producer. Angie Flores joined the plot hole crew. Thank you very much. These are for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I love everybody in the chat, y'all. I'm not mad at anybody here. I'm not mad at Johnny. I'm not mad at JL or him. I just, as somebody who wants to speak for this community, I want you guys to see my opinion and say, look, if you don't agree with my opinion, you're more than welcome to disagree with it. And that's totally cool. I'm not going to, I won't publicly talk shit about you behind closed doors, maybe. But no,
Right,
I'm just kidding.
motherfucker. Charity bout. Charity bout. You and me.
I actually do. Okay, whatever. I actually do
Come on.
support anybody that says that they're not going to support James. I understand why they're doing it, and I would support that. I would say, yeah, you have every right to do that, and let's if you want to say that, make your point. Even if you want to try to convince me, that's okay. But I just don't want to see brigading going on. If
Yeah.
we brigade, then who's to say that brigade will not turn on me next, and not Johnny after that, and Fight after that? and the plot and Irish Demon after that. You know what I mean? Do you see where I'm at least?
No,
coming
no,
from?
I know, I understand, and again, I want to make it 100% clear that it was never my intention to amplify a cancel culture. It was my intention to amplify the voice of the people who have legitimate, what I believe to be legitimate concerns. Because again, I think James can do better, and again, I think James is a very likable person. I think he's got his stuff. What he does, he does what he does. It's his channel. Ultimately, if he wants to tell everybody to go fuck themselves, that's on him too. I just, like I said, people had felt like their voices weren't being heard, so I wanted to say, hey, come on, let's I'll platform your voices. Maybe if he hears, then maybe he'll say, whatever.
And Rodent no last name said it best, and I 100% agree with this because I actually do the same thing you're doing, Rodent. I don't watch modern day debate unless there's a subject I'm interested in.
Right.
That's the only time I go there to watch. I'm not unsubbed, I would say. I think I'm still subbed. But at the same time, I don't go to every religious debate that he does. I don't go to every, social debate that he does. I think he platforms some pretty deplorable people like Conspiracy Castle. I don't like that guy. Guy's a piece of
Smokey.
shit. And he fucking still continuously, puts him on as a debate partner. But if you guys need to understand something from this side of the microphone, it's hard to find people like that to debate. It is really hard.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people that hold these beliefs and that could be good debaters just simply won't come on because either they know they're in the wrong or they just don't want to be ridiculed by people in the community. And I can understand that. I can completely understand that. But there's a limited pool of people that you can actually pull from to get debates for.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of those people hold fucked up beliefs, and it's associated with a very antisocial platform. Hold on.
All right. Well, while you got that, I will say welcome
I'm back.
to God's Auditor. We're a new channel member. He is part of the Plot Hole crew.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. I
But
appreciate it.
I do love everybody out there, and I love you guys. You're all friends and family, and at the same time, I thrive off of the way that we can hold these conversations and disagree with each other without moderation. We're having an open discussion without moderation. Moderator. No, but we're holding these discussions without moderation, and we can do so in an adult fashion. So I appreciate that, and everybody that's disagreeing with me in the chat, and I can understand why you disagree with me. That's fine. I'm not gonna disown you because you don't believe the same way I believe. I think that's part of being human. You guys are welcome to believe the way you want to believe. I'm welcome to believe the way I want to believe, and you guys are, especially on my channel, you're welcome to express that opinion. And if I don't like the opinion, I'm not going to block you. I'm just going to, go against what you say. I'll give my own opinion that goes against what you might say. And it's nothing personal. I love all you guys. And I wish more people were like that. I wish people like Nathan Thompson and Witsit weren't so deplorable.
Yeah.
I wish they'd actually come with a little bit of intellectual honesty so there was a conversation to be had.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there he is. There's moderator.
Moderator.
Come on, team. Charity bout, you and me.
Let's go.
No real topic at hand, just charity bout.
Jesus
Just charity
Christ.
bout. But hey, I do have to go. Guys.
Yeah, I got to go as well. So say goodbye, team.
All right. Well, later, everybody. Y'all have a great night, and don't hate me as much as you do because I'm my own moderator.
We love you, dude.
I'll just block you. I'm just kidding. That would never happen. Y'all guys have a good night. Love you guys.
All right, team.
Have a safe one, dude. Well, just to give you a heads up, so I contacted a mutual person while team was digressing.
Uh-huh.
I contacted a mutual acquaintance with Darth. Goes by Blackout.
Okay.
He's on He's one of the. I think he's a server owner, as a matter of fact. I think. But anyway, he's not blocked from Darth. So I told him, hey, would you do me a favor? I'm not trying to start a bunch of shit or anything. I don't want to get you in the middle of this, but Darth has me blocked. And Darth made an accusation against the plot hole, and we debunked it live on this stream. Could you send him this link and give him the heads up? Because he should know that he was flat ass fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And the whole reason he shut down communication between the two of you was because he was flat ass wrong.
Yep.
So he needs to know that. And we'll see we'll see what kind of character is there. We'll see what kind of what kind of character the man has when he is handed like legit information, like there it is, can you apologize, do whatever. See if he messages you after that. I'm kind of curious. Blackout thinks he's gonna freak out.
Oh, of course he is. Because he can't be wrong. He can never be wrong.
True. Yeah, he can't. Yeah, true.
Anyway.
Goutage River, fuck off, team.
All right, let's get out of here, man. It's 12:30 in the morning for us. You got work, I got work. I'm gonna go get fired tomorrow, so it's all good. Let's go do this.
Okay. Oh, fuck, I can't call him because my freaking my supervisor Miguel is transferring to another property. He's going to another because they offered him more money. It's closer to his house. Yada yada yada. And
does that mean you get to be the supervisor now?
No, they didn't even offer it. So
bunch of
they're hiring someone from outside.
Oh, of course they are.
And I haven't met the dude yet, but I've seen him. Apparently, he's got a lot of experience. Really, really good. So all he has to do is accept the offer. Then make him a formal offer. If he accepts it, he'll be the new guy. But it's bummer. It's a bummer because he's leaving. But he's over there to begin training at the new property tomorrow. So now I'm the guy in charge while he's gone. So
there you go.
Because if I call in, it's gonna be nothing but Carolyn, and she's got to run out now. It's not gonna work. So either way, but we'll see if Darth responds to the debunking of his bullshit, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I will debate him one day. I have no idea.
It's up to you. I whatever. That guy's he's a piece of work. Now he can tell everybody I called him names because I did.
Yeah, you did on this one. Absolutely.
On this stream, I called you names, Darth Dawkins. I didn't want you to be a liar, so I made sure that you're not a liar.
Oh, no, careful. He'll call that a fucking prophecy. He'll think he's a goddamn prophet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's do this.
All right.
I appreciate everybody in the chats, all the super chats, and all the new members. You guys are awesome. JL, you got a new series coming out soon?
Yes, I do.
Sweet.
I am hard at work on it. Because things are a little bit chaotic at work. It's eating up quite a bit of my time. But I do have a 4-part series coming out about Christianity and how it conforms to the Hassan Bite model. I'm also working on taking down this idiot named Kyle Butt. I giggle every time.
Yeah. Who
thinks that you shouldn't believe in evolution and that there are historical things in the Bible that prove God is real. No. So I'm working on those. So I'm technically working on a 4-part video series and 2 videos at the same time. All of me while trying to keep up with my shorts, so I can at least try and keep people entertained. But yeah, that's what's coming up on my channel. My channel is my name, but my series is called Bridge the Divide. I hope you all dig it. Definitely keep checking it out. I'll keep dropping stuff. And of course, also have Week in Horror. Many of you were at the earlier live show. We have it every single Wednesday. I do appreciate everybody who was there. You guys are amazing. I'm currently at 722 subscribers. I am the last one out of the 1,000 sub club, and it makes me a little sad. But eventually, I will get there soon.
Yes, you will.
I try to drop content as often as I can, but I'm extremely busy with Week in Horror, my 50-hour a week, 9 to 5, everything, my dogs, all the shit that I've got going on. It's just, there's only so much time in the day. I've got to sleep at some point.
No, you don't. Sleeping is overrated.
This is true.
Sleeping is over.
I'll
tell you that right now.
Not to mention, after the PKA thing, after the pigeon debate, I've got debate offers coming over that are coming out of the woodwork, and it's not just the two. It's not just the one that you propose. Other people on Discord is like, "Hey, would you mind doing this? Or would you mind doing that?" And I'm kind of like, I hate saying no to people, but I've got to at some point. Otherwise, I'm not going to get any fucking work done.
Well, you know, pick two, and then schedule them out. We'll make it happen.
Like me and Fohammer, I can do my best to make that happen, but Sundays are kind of iffy for me. Sometimes they're solid, sometimes they're not. Like this upcoming Sunday, probably not best because I'm on call. So maybe the following Sunday when I'm not on call, possible.
Well, this Sunday is that Zombie Jesus Day. So
That's true. Is it really?
So naturally,
Holy shit.
everybody has to get together to eat chocolate eggs.
Everybody has to get together to celebrate the goddess Astra.
Yep.
And she's the goddess of rebirth and the goddess of spring and the goddess of the heart and the goddess of the harvest, and then rename her Jesus and give him all the praise.
Yeah. JPP 3030 for $5 that started watching on that debate with that total moron the other day. Love the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I would like to get that just a regular, like a weekly debate going. Show these guys how it's done.
That'd be really cool. I mean, if you wanted to do it on Fridays, or are you talking about doing it on the plot hole on this channel?
On the channel, yeah. Yeah, do it on the channel. Because I think I still want to do Fridays as the, you know, just have a good time. You know. But anyway, what do I have coming out? I've got Dingleberries coming out. JL sent me a few Dingleberries. I already had some Karens lined up for this one, but Creaky Blinder got to him first, so I had to change my Karens.
Oh, did you like the ones I sent you?
Yes, they're all three of the ones you sent me are going into the new video.
Nice.
I have to be careful with one of them though, and you know why. But we'll
Yes.
play that one. We'll play that one as it goes. Anyway, I had a lot of fun. You guys are awesome. Darth Dawkins, you were wrong. I proved you wrong. But then again, I turned you into a non-liar. So there you go. You're a fucking jackass. All right.
Honestly, fuck that guy.
You know, it's just, come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. All right.
With this dog pony show. I don't know what he
I
said.
don't even
What's
know.
the quote?
Who knows?
This horse dog
Pony
face show. I don't fucking know.
All right, we'll see you guys Friday for the new video. And on the plot hole, rockmetaltalk.com, 8 o'clock Central, which is UTC -5 right now, if I'm correct. Somebody corrected me. I said +6 the other day. I was wrong. I knew it was 6 in regular, but it was minus and not plus. Whatever. Central time, 8 o'clock to 11 in the evening.
Just remember, we have listeners predominantly in England and in Australia. Okay? So we are 6 hours ahead of Fight the Flat Earth, and we are 13 hours ahead of Irish Demon.
Behind.
Yeah. We are 6 hours behind
Yeah.
At Fight the Flat Earth and 13 hours behind Irish Demon. There you go.
There we are.
That's what you need to know.
All right. I'm getting out of here because it's way past my stick.